not worry.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new Do Not Worry stream. I'm your host, Anthony, coming to you live from the heart of Lebanon in the 09. My back is killing me. 1 second. I'm trying to write subscribe to Tino's Playroom. Subscribe. Why can't I? Am I writing it wrong? Subscribe. I can barely move my back. Okay. There it is. Bam. Okay. Hello, hello. We got Hidden Iron, Claudia, Poker Ray, Joy, Marina, Hidden Iron, Metal Fingers, Tattoo, Haley D. Welcome, everybody, to a special stream. I'm coming to you from the heart of Lebanon at 5:20 p.m. We're doing the earlier streams. We are still experimenting. I am in my early stream era. VDJ Cryptos Rock from Calgary, Canada. Hello. Sophia. Hello from Portugal. Hello, hello. Mad Dog Maddie is here. How's everybody doing? So much pain. So much back pain. Oh, I don't know what you call it in English. In Arabic, you say msannaj. It's like I didn't pull a muscle or something, but like it's like my back feels like a wooden block, and like I can't move. If I move, like I have to turn like this. You know what I mean? Any sort of movement just hurts a lot, and then the pain shoots up like all over my back and like the side of my ribs and stuff. Like it takes like 3 or 4 days to go away. It happened while I was working out yesterday, and then just got progressively worse. And like by today, like I feel like my back is paralyzed like that. I don't know what we call that. Ow. Guys, today, cramped. I guess maybe cramped. Today we're talking Israel's plans in Lebanon, what they're doing, what it's looking like. Trump and Netanyahu having disagreements over Lebanon. Ben Gvir calling for the flattening of Beirut. Ethan Klein has reacted to Hasan being banned from the UK, and he agrees with it, of course. Of course, so we're going to react to that. We're going to react to the final Instagram story batch of Hila Klein visiting Israel. We're going to watch and react to Hila's opinion of her Israel trip. A lot to talk about. Before we get into any of that, folks, let me just take a second to thank our lovely channel members. As you guys know, we have a goal of 1,000 channel members by my birthday, September 26th. We're currently at 406 lovely Do Not Warriors. And let me take a second to thank some of our lovely members, such as Metal Fingers Tattoo, who's been a member for 7 months. Thank you so much. Defunk 100K, who's been a member for 3 months. Thank you so much. Sir Hambot, Weeping Willow Trees, Trap Beans, Blake Wiswell. Thank you guys so much. Jess Polido, as well, who's been a member for 10 months. Mark of 2P, who's been a member for 7 days. We appreciate you guys so much. We cannot keep the show going without our members. Members and our patrons keep the lights on over here. So thank you guys so much for helping us and for supporting the channel. And members also get exclusive content and exclusive live streams every single week. Also, let me thank Freya's Twistery. Also, Random Eyeliner. And Lego Goku 7425. Thank you guys so much. We love and appreciate you all. Whether you've been a member for 1 day or a member for 10 months, whether you've never paid for your membership or you've been out there gifting memberships, we love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for making a big difference here in our Do Not Worry community. Also, our lovely patrons, folks, our God tier patron, our last man standing, Ilan Mujabir, superhero patrons like Legal in Lipstick, who just joined our Patreon, Khala and Ahmad, Bonnie Buns and Bader, blonde patrons like Riz, Matthew Bax, Matt Giersich, Mono, Nicola Titwini, Elby, It's Dylan, and Hani Farah. And our abductee patrons, DG, Joseph Ramirez, Selena Francis, Bertram Belk, Bat Pierogi, Jennifer Sage, Burt Reynolds, Polish Pusher, Dizzle McFizzle. We appreciate you guys. We thank you. We love you. Patrons also get exclusive content such as Nour Karine's Fantasy Board Review, which should be coming out soon. Haley can also barely move. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, huh? Pain. Fair and Wolf, hello, hello. So this is what we're going to be. Visitor says, you're so early, I'm heading to work. I know, right? I normally stream like 3 hours later than this, but I've just been trying to stream earlier in the day. That way I can be done with my day a little bit earlier. And maybe even squeeze in a second stream at night on Tino's Playroom. Speaking of Tino's Playroom, folks, The channel's been growing. We've been doing more and more live streams over there. I've been covering the bricks and minifigs drama, the Lego theft story that's been happening, that's been capturing the world's attention. We've been covering it over there, as well as doing Lego builds, as well as doing gaming streams. There's everything happening. Look at that. We got Lego news and reaction live streams, Lego build live streams, gaming live streams. We got Dark Souls 2. Damn, that was already 10 days ago. So Dark Souls 2 is back. We're building the Lego Cantina, a $600 Star Wars retired set that I am now building on the channel. And some Lego stuff. So news and reviews, everything. So subscribe. The link is pinned on top right at the bottom of the live chat. We're having a lot of fun on that channel. And I also did a giveaway. Look at that. This was won by a US viewer. I'm going to the States in July, so I'm going to be taking this with me to ship it to our winner. So tune into Tino's Playroom, not only to have a good time, but to win some Lego and build your own shit. Oh, my back is in so much pain. Mao Zedon's Ghost says, stay safe, big dog. Thanks so much, Mao. Appreciate you. Haley says, I need to make some coffee and eat my brekkie. Sahteen, Haley. Enjoy the coffee. Enjoy the brekkie. Okay, everybody. We have all of those things done. And please remember, you don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a patron. You don't have to send in any super chats to support the channel. Simply like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure we got 61 people watching right now and only 12 likes. So what is going on? Like the video. Leave a comment if you're watching live. Jump into the live chat. Join our Discord. We have a lot of fun over there. And we love and appreciate you. Thanks so much. And if you do want to support us, we love you a little bit extra. Thank you, everybody. Okay, we're going to be starting with some little pieces of news. And then moving into the bigger topics. Some Lebanon updates. The Ethan H3 stuff is going to be at the end of the show. Sarah, hello. How's it going? I'm doing well. How are you? Starting with a random little Lebanon piece of news. Okay, quick. If you're sensitive to like meat or the visual of meat, raw meat, if you're a vegan or something, quick little trigger warning for this first story. This is Lebanon related. I just saw this today randomly on Twitter. I figured let's talk about it. Let's give you guys a little fun Lebanese update. Well, this one's kind of fun. It's kind of depressing as well. But I mean, you know, you've only been getting war updates and stuff. Let me show you what we normally used to deal with on the show a couple of years ago. The kind of topics that would be our bread and butter here on Do Not Worry. Oops. Sorry, guys. 1 second. I was getting a call from my accountant. I don't have a real account. It's like for my comic book business thing. Okay, 1 sec. Let me just tell the lady that I am streaming. Hello. Sorry, I'm filming. Cannot talk now. Won't finish till 9 p.m. Bang, bang. There we go. That's how you deal with things, man. God, if I was on my, I need to disconnect WhatsApp from like phone calls because I'm gonna be doxing everybody like this. All right. Ethan's Basement. Hello, hello. How are you? W's in the chat for Ethan's Basement, folks, and OG. So again, trigger warning. If you're disgusted by the sight of raw meat, you feel bad for animals, etc., this might be visually a little bit disturbing. Okay, this is a Lebanon-based story, the kind of stuff we used to cover on Do Not Worry back in the day. Let's hop into a time machine and show you a little bit of what the show used to be like before Israel was bombing us every day. Carnio, a popular meat lovers restaurant in Jaita, is facing backlash after sharing a video that they have now deleted showing its owner and chef preparing and cooking a porcupine. This has sparked debate on our Instagram about there are more important things, or in Arabic, so basically, Porcupine Gate. Some Instagram influencer, an Instagram chef who also owns a couple of restaurants, and he does like restaurant consulting or whatever, when Dr. Food was accused of smuggling drugs and was taken to jail, a bunch of people tried to like replace him. This was one of the guys who was like so hungry to like take that Dr. Food throne and started going to restaurants and started giving advice and trying to like, you know, he was trying to, you know what I mean? So he's one of those guys, one of those food experts, etc. I don't know if he's actually good at what he does, but he does have these restaurants. Motherfucker cooked a porcupine. I've never even heard of porcupine meat like being. I'm sure there's somewhere in like the South, you know, in America, we eat armadillo and porcupine over here. I'm sure that exists, but like here in Lebanon, porcupine meat. So kind of strange. Let's read the full article, and then for those who are brave enough, we will watch the video because it has been, you know, screen recorded, obviously. Jaita's Carnio restaurant under fire for cooking porcupine meat. Ah, don't you just love Lebanon? I'll take the porcupine kebab, please, with a side of hummus. Ooh, Ethan's Basement says, I'm enjoying these earlier streams. I can finally catch them live. Well, there you go. Awesome. You see, I think we're going to lose some people with the earlier streams, but we're also going to be able to get some new people coming in with the earlier streams. So let's see. Carnio, a popular meat lovers restaurant in Jaita, is facing backlash after sharing a video showing its owner and chef preparing and cooking a porcupine. The footage quickly went viral, racking up more than 18 million views and drawing criticism from animal rights activists. Among those who publicly condemned it was activist Hila Nafawi, who described the incident as a blatant violation of Lebanese wildlife protection laws. Nafawi identified the animal as an Indian crested porcupine, a protected wild species in Lebanon. Under Law 580/2004, all wild animals in Lebanon are protected unless specifically listed as huntable. Violations can result in fines, equipment confiscation, and legal penalties. Okay, so this animal is protected under hunting laws. Okay, I did not know. I didn't even know we had porcupines here, man. That's how crazy it is. It remains unclear whether the porcupine was hunted locally or sourced elsewhere, though the circumstances warrant investigation by the relevant authorities. Goddamn, the dude, Carnio dude's in trouble. Okay, we're going to watch the video. Let's go to the tweet that went viral, I guess. So this is translated to English. This was originally written in Arabic. So this is Rina. Crime on a plate. Carnio restaurant skins the law before it skins the porcupine by Lebanese. So she tags the police. Come on, that's kind of a narky move. Tags the police and the Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Nizar Hani, and says what's happening today in some butcheries and restaurants, including Carnio, isn't a wild food experience. It's a public execution of one of Lebanon's forest guardians, wrapped in lies and misinformation. The crowned Indian porcupine is skinned and sold in a spectacle of contempt for the state and a blatant slaughter of the law's dignity. What about contempt for the animal itself? First, whose victim is it? And it's not a hedgehog, you deceiver. The porcupine, okay, so he's trying to sell it off as a hedgehog. The porcupine, Hystrix indica, isn't a hedgehog, as the restaurant owner shamelessly promotes in blatant deception. A hedgehog is a small animal weighing 500 grams. The porcupine, however, is a massive herbivorous rodent reaching up to 20 kilograms, armed with thousands of quills and an environmental guardian. Soil aeration. By digging into the ground and foraging for plant roots and bulbs, the porcupine contributes to soil aeration and facilitates water infiltration, enhancing plant growth and increasing soil fertility. Well, we're learning a lot about porcupines today. God bless that little guy. Providing shelters for animals. The porcupine's digging activities create burrows and refuges used by many other animals for hiding and reproduction. Well, I didn't know that. Supporting plant diversity. It helps in pruning dense vegetation through grazing and feeding and preventing excessive growth, while also aiding seed dispersal through its waste. Calling it a hedgehog isn't a mistake. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Second, the law is clear and you're in violation and deceiving the law. It bans the hunting of porcupines outright, classifies it as a protected animal, and prohibits hunting, trade, or even captivity for breeding. Third, a sauce state. What state dignity are you talking about? If you're true, size is measured by your inability to prevent the sale of color. It's okay. I don't care about the sauce right now. Trigger warning. We're gonna watch the porcupine video. Okay, we're gonna watch the porcupine. It's gonna be in Arabic.
هيدا الأنفض من ساعة كان عم يطلب بالحقلة وهيدي شوكاته. الأنفض هو حيوان.
Wait, he called it a hedgehog, but he even showed it's no. Look, he's not calling it. He's calling it a porcupine. It says it in the caption here. Chef Mario takes us on so Chef Mario, that's his name. Okay, so Chef Mario takes us on a unique culinary adventure, preparing and tasting porcupine for the very first time. There you go.
برا بعيش بالحقلة بياكل حشيش لحمه كثير طري رح شقف لك.
This is gonna get me. This music is definitely gonna be a problem.
بشوي لك شقفة بتاكل لحمة مشوية الغنم نفس الشيء.
Here's my take. I know it's kind of hypocritical. Sometimes I feel like, why are you getting upset at killing a porcupine when we slaughter millions of chickens and cows every single day for chicken and beef? I'm gonna give you guys my warped sort of thinking about this and how I kind of justify it in my head. I know being a vegetarian or being vegan is the ultimate ideal good, I would say. You know what I mean? I would rather not eat animals. The fact that I do eat animals, in my head, I try to limit it to 2 animals, chickens and cows, essentially. If I can avoid hurting any other animals, I'm going to try to do that. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense now? Not really. Is it still cruel? Is it unfair for cows and chickens? Of course it is. So I find that if you're going to... Now, there's the extra element here of this being a protected animal under under Lebanese law, and I agree with that. You shouldn't be hunting any protected animals, but I mean, ultimately, in an ideal world, all animals would be protected, and the outrage would be the same for a chicken, a cow, and a porcupine. But I do understand in this case that we've normalized the slaughter of cows and chickens. We've made it into an industry. It no longer even feels personal for a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's just like you don't even understand what happens to get that piece of meat to the supermarket. We're so disconnected from where our food comes from. So I think this is hitting people in the gut because it's like, wait, this is a porcupine. It's supposed to be hanging out in nature, and like I know it from cartoons. It shoots the spikes and whatever. So, and the fact that it's definitely going to be more rare is going to make it more sad. I think it's very sad, actually. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Poca says chickens are not wild animals. Yeah, I think it's kind of fucked. I think to turn it into content as well, like I think these people are too content brained as well right now. So he's like, what can I do to go viral? I've cooked 1,000 steaks before. I've opened 3 restaurants. What can I talk about? Look, let's cook a porcupine. So I think this is also what happens when you start thinking of like content more than you do. Let's mute it and continue. When you start thinking content more with like what's right. So, and this guy should know this is a protected animal. This guy should know that porcupines aren't going to be very commonly found in Lebanon. So, like literally all of this to make a porcupine kebab and to get a few views and likes on social media. Like I'm not here to criticize it. I eat meat. I had some meat for lunch today. I had chicken. So I'm not gonna pretend to be above any of this. But what I would say is, don't be cooking any porcupine. Don't be cooking any animals that are supposed to be protected under wildlife laws. Lebanon is already such a lawless fucking place. And we have nothing to protect animals. We don't really do a very good job of protecting animals. Animals' environments are being encroached on every single day. We destroy more and more of our forests every single day. We destroy more and more of our mountains every single day to build more apartment homes and shopping complexes. Wild animals have less of a place to live. Their environment is shrinking while we are taking up more and more space and destroying their habitat. Not only are we destroying our habitat, Israel is destroying our own land and habitat. So now we're kind of doing their work for them. Yeah, and I don't mean to get too far with that. Obviously, this guy's got nothing to do with that. But I just think this is a miscalculation. Like, this is someone trying to go viral online and it's kind of gone wrong. You know what I mean? Like, he went a bit too far to get views and to put attention on his restaurant. Like, okay, you killed an innocent porcupine. I don't know, man. What do you guys think in the chat? Let's watch a little bit of this. Grilling it? That's such a waste of a porcupine. To make a porcupine kebab, like, that's it? And he's laughing. I don't like this guy. I don't like any Lebanese food TikTokers, especially the old ones, the ones that are like his age and up. I don't like any of them. They're all like kind of cringe to me. So, not really a fan. Oh my god, my back. I'm in so much pain. R.I.P. little porcupine. Who's a famous cartoon porcupine that what can we nickname this little porcupine, huh? But yeah, that's the big controversy. Lebanese chef eating porcupine meat. Should he be canceled? Do you guys agree with this cancellation? I think it's kind of fucked. Anyways, moving on, folks. We talked about the Israel Day Parade yesterday, which I discovered yesterday. I'm like, how the fuck is there an Israel Day Parade while they're ethnically cleansing Lebanon, genociding Palestinians? How's the world allowed to celebrate a genocidal nation in one of the world's most major and influential cities like New York, having war criminals like Smotrich, Bezalel Smotrich walking around, waving to supporters, to other Zionists, pro-genocide motherfuckers? I was kind of shocked. Anyways, Senator Chuck Schumer was there, and I've just happened to come across his speech. We reacted to some of the content yesterday. Let's listen to Chuck Schumer talking at the Israel Day Parade.
Holocaust showed the world what Jews have known for millennia. The Holocaust showed the world what Jews have known for millennia, that our security and our safety is never safe as long as we lack a place of refuge, a homeland. To quote the great Irish writer Conor Cruz,
I need a spare country. I live in America, I live in New York, and it's not enough for me. I need a spare country in case people turn on me and there's a Holocaust in America. I need to have somewhere else to go. Great, do I get that privilege as a Lebanese person? Do I get an Arabian homeland? If someone decides to kick me out of here, where do I go? Where does everyone else go? Where do Mexicans go if they are kicked out of Mexico? Where do the French go if they're kicked out of France? How does this work? Does everyone get a spare country? Do we all get a number 2? Because that's pretty cool, you know? How about that? Look at that. I need a vacation home and a condominium by the beach, preferably owned by Arabs previously.
O'Brien, anti-Semitism is a light sleeper, and now we are seeing an ugly resurgence. To quote the great Irish writer Conor Cruz O'Brien, anti-Semitism is a light sleeper, and now we are seeing an ugly resurgence of anti-Semitism across the world, driven by the same lies and libels that have tormented the Jewish people for generations, except now they're transmitted at the speed of a fiber optic internet connection. In 30 seconds, lies are on your pocket phone.
So once again, weaponizing anti-Semitism and using anti-Semitism as the excuse and as the greatest reason that Israel needs to exist. He's basically justifying the genocide of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians and the ethnic cleansing of Lebanon because anti-Semitism is on the rise. Someone threw a quarter at me on the metro. We need to kill 20 Palestinians because someone threw a quarter at me. It's like, come on, motherfucker. Of course Semitism is on the rise. Islamophobia is on the rise. We ain't genociding anybody for that. It's just kind of insane. Painful to listen to.
That's why a Jewish state is more important than ever. Anti-Semitism isn't going away.
Anti-Semitism isn't going away. Neither are the Jewish people from the Middle East. And they shouldn't go away. They should just share their country. They should just share the country that they've stolen with everyone else. You know? What did he say?
In 30 seconds, lies are on your pocket phone. That's why a Jewish state is more important than ever.
And again, what does a Jewish state mean? A Jewish state means enforcing a Jewish majority. How do you enforce a Jewish majority? How do you enforce that one demographic outnumbers another? With a series of laws. With a series of lifestyle choices, let's call them. You know? Checkpoints. Rights of return. Genocides. Ethnic cleansing. Expelling people from homes. So yeah, because Chuck Schumer in America, can I get my eggs over easy? I also have to go to Israel to see some family. Like, dude, I can't anymore. I can't. Just a bunch of white people who want a vacation home. And instead of just buying a ticket and being a tourist to any other country like a normal person, they want to steal a country, steal land, and live there and pretend that they're native from there. Oh, I belong here. It feels so good to me as a Jewish New Yorker to walk in my homeland of Israel here in the Middle East. Like, what are you talking about, Grandpa? You're going to get skin cancer from being exposed to the sun too long. You're not supposed to be in this environment. Oh, it feels so good. Hey, Margaret, do you want a falafel? Fuck you guys, man. Look at that stupid sash they're wearing. They've Americanized the Star of David. You know, they made a logo out of the Star of David and added an American, like a star from the American flag right in the center. Hey, Margaret, look, isn't that Michael Rappaport walking next to the sex shop? Look, Margaret, Michael Rappaport. He just bought a dildo from the Tel Aviv sex shop. Let's go say hi.
Anti-Semitism isn't going away. It always lingers, stalks in the shadows, waiting for the right conditions.
Yes. It's all about anti-Semitism. The ever existing, ghost of anti-Semitism waiting to pop up. So it's always right to have Israel. Israel should always exist. Israel is always justified because you never know when Mr. Anti-Semitism might pop up and try to Holocaust the Jews again. Like, what are we doing, man?
For millennia, let them hear that loud and clear. The Jewish people have yearned for a state of Israel, whilst experiencing the constant anxiety.
Hey, I yearn for $1 million. Chuck Schumer, I fucking yearn for a stack of cash. I want it. Can I get it? I would love some. I would love some cash, Mr. Chuck Schumer. I yearn for the cash. I want millions of dollars to provide for my family and my loved ones and never stress out about anything. Can I have that? Is that all it takes? Yearning? Yearning?
Of knowing the place where they lived could violently expel them at any moment has happened again and again. We can't.
Hey, because you're about to. There's a realistic threat that Jews are going to be expelled from New York? Really? That's what you're afraid of, motherfucker? You fucking ghoul?
We must not go back to that era. I believe in the state of Israel. I support the state of Israel. If there had been a state of Israel in 1941, dozens of my ancestors would have been able to flee Nazi persecution. So, ladies and gentlemen...
At the cost of what? If there was an Israel in 1941, they would have fled to Israel, and who would have had to flee Israel to survive your ancestors going to Israel? Are we creating a cycle of fleeing? Well, they're fleeing the Nazis, so they have to, you know, threaten someone else so that they start fleeing. What are we doing here? Oh my God. Sorry, heartburn. What are we doing here, man?
Whether it's in Israel or in America or around the world, Am Yisrael Chai.
Whether it's in America, get ready, Americans. They're coming for you next. Oh, honestly, I know this is sad to say, but like, if the ultimate irony would be for Israelis to take over America, right? Like, America needs to become the next biggest Israeli colony. That is the greatest irony. Like, you wanted this, you supported this for decades, you've been funding this. It's coming home, baby. Israel's coming home. Let's go. I support you, Chuck Schumer.
So, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's in Israel or in America or around the world, Am Yisrael Chai.
I vote America. Go to America. Take America. Take America. Send them over there. Ship them back. Ship them back. Send my Arab cousins back over here. My Palestinian brothers and sisters. Yalla. Dude, can't all Israelis like fit in New York? Just put them all in New York. Khalas, that's it. It's already, you know what I mean? It's already halfway there. And speaking of Chuck Schumer and the need for Israel, I just wanted to show these videos, you know, one after the other, because I feel like they play well together. Here are Israeli soldiers holding a barbecue on top of the rubble of, this is from Hamad Hussein. Israeli soldiers are holding a barbecue on top of the rubble of my city, and its residents were killed and displaced from northern Gaza. In my view, this is one of the most cruel and disturbing images of this war. So this is this man's previous home. We got some IDF soldiers barbecuing on the roof. Let's go, on the balcony. Making some chicken. They got some beef over there. Y'all get to season any of that? Or, you know. Look at the view. Like, this is insane, man. How can you even eat with a sight like this? Doesn't this make you lose your appetite right away? You know what I'm saying? How does one even have the appetite to put anything in their mouth? Surrounded by so much death and destruction. So when Chuck Schumer talks about we need a state of Israel, this is what I see. This is what I think about. This is what's currently happening. This is what Israel is causing around the world today, not yesterday, not 10 years, today, right at this very moment, while you're marching in the streets of New York during your stupid Israel Day parade. This is what Israelis are doing. How about in Lebanon? What's happening here? Israel executed Theodosia today in Lea, South Lebanon. She was on her way to take her exams. Israel dropped a bomb on her car, killing her and her parents. Her full name is Theodosia James Karam. This is what I think about when Chuck Schumer talks about Israelis needing, Jewish people needing a homeland. And where would his ancestors be if in 1941 it would have just been people like her that in 1941 instead of today? So, like, I have no, that's it. Like, we're being pushed to our limits here in Lebanon. I don't know if you guys know, we're in the Middle East in general. But Israeli attacks on South Lebanon are only getting worse. They are completely ethnically cleansing it. It looks like Gaza at this point. It's incredible. They're threatening to bomb Beirut. They're literally holding Beirut hostage right now. So this is what I think about when people talk about the state of Israel and Israel needing to exist and the Jews needing their own homeland. It comes at the cost and at the price of Arabs and Arab lives, Arab land, Arab dignity. And speaking of which, so there's been, things have been really, maybe we should start with this report. Let's move on to updates in Lebanon and what's been happening here. Essentially, let me try to find the Netanyahu tweet really quickly. Tonight I spoke with President Trump and told him that if Hezbollah does not cease attacking our cities and citizens, Israel will attack terror targets in Beirut. This stance of ours remains unchanged. In parallel, the IDF will continue to operate as planned in southern Lebanon. So, after a lot of pressure from Trump, the Israelis are not going to strike Beirut anymore. But if Hezbollah strikes northern Israel, they're going to bomb the living shit out of Beirut. So right now, Hezbollah has agreed not to bomb Israel. Hezbollah can only retaliate within southern Lebanon. Hezbollah can only attack the IDF within Lebanon. If Hezbollah fires a single rocket outside of the Lebanese borders and into Israel, then Israel is going to bomb the living shit out of Beirut, our capital city. So that is what's kind of being held as a hostage. So while there is going to be a ceasefire in Beirut and the non-southern parts of Lebanon, the IDF, according to Netanyahu, in parallel, the IDF will continue to operate as planned in southern Lebanon. So right now, southern Lebanon remains a war zone. Israelis are ethnically cleansing every single Lebanese town and village that they can. Hezbollah is still allowed to operate within South Lebanon and to still defend Lebanon. Thankfully, oh my God, isn't that great? But we're not allowed to fire any rockets, anything, a single drone, nothing into Israel. So that is kind of what's happening right now. And according to reports, Trump is very angry at Netanyahu because Trump is trying to secure a peace deal with Iran. And that peace deal, that ceasefire, kind of depends on some sort of a more stable ceasefire in Lebanon, preferably with southern Lebanon included. With Netanyahu refusing to stop the bombing and the attacks on Lebanon, the devastating attacks that are completely destabilizing the country, he's causing a lot of problems for Donald Trump. So apparently, according to Axios, Axios claims that Trump called Netanyahu today, told him to stand down in Lebanon and cursed him out. Apparently, Trump said, "You're fucking crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. I'm saving your ass. Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel." Let's listen. This is on Fox News.
The president even called Netanyahu today, asking him to stand down in Lebanon. Trump kind of lit him up. According to Axios, he told him, quote, "What the F are you doing? You're effing crazy."
Guess, holy shit, we got an adorable little super sticker from Polish Pusher, a $20 super sticker. Holy Polish Pusher, holy shit, W's in the chat for Polish Pusher. That was adorable. It's like a lemon hugging a little smaller green lemon, a lime. It's a big lemon hugging a lime. Polish Pusher, we salute you. That is so kind. That is so generous. Thank you so much for supporting the channel at such a high level. We appreciate you. Holy hell. One of our VIPs. God damn, that's so cute. Thank you, Polish. What a surprise. So this is insane.
The president even called Netanyahu today, asking him to stand down in Lebanon. Trump kind of lit him up. According to Axios, he told him, quote, "What the F are you doing? You're effing crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. I'm saving your ass. Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this."
I mean, look, if this is real, pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, he's right. What the fuck are you doing? Let me try to do my Trump. Trump. What? You're fucking crazy. You'd be... No, it's not working. It's not working. I'm still stuck in jank mode, I think.
47's trying to nail down this peace deal, and Netanyahu's trying to lock in as many gains as he can before the deal's done. The president...
Yeah, and essentially, as well, Rania Khalid put out a tweet that was kind of to that effect yesterday. Netanyahu was trying to gain as much ground as he can in Lebanon, seize as much land in Lebanon, so he's trying to delay, so he can, you know, the biggest land grab that he could possibly do, occupy as much land in southern Lebanon as possible and use that to their advantage moving forward. They're probably never going to want to give the land back unless Hezbollah gives up, and essentially, you know, we become Israel's bitch. That's what everyone's planning right now. So, looking great here. And Crystal also had a great point. about this interaction. How many times have they sold and resold the same story about Biden and now Trump being secretly very, very mad at Netanyahu? Again, how many times did we hear Biden is secretly very angry at Netanyahu behind closed doors? He's very angry. He keeps calling him. But like, what effect did that have on the ground? What impact did that have on the ground? Nothing. Trump could be as angry at Netanyahu as he wants. He could call him a fucking piece of shit. He could make all the angry phone calls he can. Is Netanyahu still occupying land in Lebanon? Yes. Is he still ethnically cleansing South Lebanon? Yes. Are they still genociding Palestinians in Gaza? Yes. So all of this posturing, oh, I'm secretly angry at you, then do something about it. Cut fucking funding. Stop supporting them. Stop giving them immunity for whatever it is that they do in all of their fucking crimes. If you're actually upset about it, Donald Trump, do something about it. Biden was too old, didn't know where the fuck he was to do anything about anything. Like, I don't even care. Like, oh, you're upset, you made an angry phone call? Great. You wrote an angry worded letter, a strongly worded letter to Netanyahu? Great. We're still getting killed. We're still getting our land stolen. Yesterday, I mean, we covered the Beaufort Castle being taken over by Israelis yesterday, a historic landmark in Lebanon, a Crusader castle that's had more wars and shit happen there, you know, in the past few hundred years. And we're just losing it. Dave Smith, who I don't like Dave Smith, but he put out, I think that this kind of makes sense as a tweet. The situation unfolding right now is the perfect example of why the majority of the American people have either outright rejected or at least re-questioning the U.S.-Israeli relationship. Currently, there is an obvious divergence between the U.S. interests and the goals of the Israeli government. We desperately need a deal to end this disastrous war and save the global economy. Trump obviously wants this at this point and has already said Israel was forbidden from attacking Lebanon. You may recall every pro-Israel account on here claiming this is proof that Trump calls the shots. The ceasefire that the President of the United States of America wants depends on Israel not attacking southern Lebanon. So Israel announces they're doing it. The best Trump can say is no boots on the ground, and he won't even hold on that. This is a country whose very survival, let alone ability to conduct any of these elective wars, is completely dependent on U.S. taxpayer money and support. We unconditionally support them even as they undermine our nation. This is beyond intolerable. You can call all of us every name in the book, but it's just too obvious. So exactly. I guess if it were up to Trump, I think he would stop any bombing in Lebanon, even in southern Lebanon, because it's making him look bad. He's supposedly mediating peace talks between the Americans and the Israelis. They're coming to Washington. You got Marco Rubio in there pretending to be helping out. All the while, Israel bombs the living shit out of Lebanon. So how does this peace negotiation look for us? Now does this make Donald Trump and the U.S. government look as peacemakers when, as they're negotiating peace, one of the countries is decimating the other country? None of it makes sense. It's just kind of insane. And while that happens, you got Ben Gvir. Great guy. Really good guy. Calling for the flattening of Beirut. Let me read this and translate for you guys. Okay, let's start. We are here at the northern border in the Shtula settlement. We say in all honesty, the suburbs of Beirut need to be flattened. He's saying Dahya. So that's the southern suburbs of Beirut called Dahya. They need to be flattened. I opposed the previous ceasefire. Of course you do, Piggy. And today I'm also saying the suburbs must be flattened. Israeli army is doing their job. There are 600 Hezbollah fighters who, thank God, have been eliminated in the past. In the past weeks, but it's not enough. And by the way, they're not all Hezbollah fighters. There's tons of women and children and regular citizens in there.
You
need to target them, flatten the suburbs. Hezbollah is in the suburbs, blah, blah, blah.
אני אומר את זה גם כאן, וגם אני אומר את זה לראש ממשלתנו היקר. ראש הממשלה ביבי נתניהו היקר, אני אוהב אותך, מעריך אותך, אבל זה הזמן לשטח את הדחיה. יש כבוד לטראמפ, צריך להגיד לו תודה על השותפות.
We have the utmost respect for Trump. We owe him our thanks for the cooperation. But the red line is harming civilians and soldiers, and the suburbs must be flattened to the ground. Don't you just love hearing someone inside of a government with you know, weapons from the US and funding from the international community, saying that they want to flatten your country, they want to flatten your suburbs. It's fun, you know? Does good things to my psyche. Little by little. Also, I've kind of noticed as well, just like me preparing the topics for these episodes, like when I'm just getting tweets and then I'm putting little titles in my document, it's like, person dies, explosion in South, South gets decimated, people massacred, massacred montage 1, massacred montage 2, and I'm like, man, just writing this stuff down is like so weird, it's so bizarre, and it's like, I feel like it's so offensive for me to write these things, because it's like people dying, and I'm making videos out of it, and I'm adding into a spreadsheet, and adding just a quick little title as if me writing massacre number 1, massacre number 2 does any sort of justice to what I'm watching, to what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? It feels so crazy. Like, this is my country, these are my people, and here I am bringing together these videos and putting a list, and the names are literally massacre 1, massacre 2, dead person in the South, RIP this person, and it's just quickly. I got to do it quickly because we got to stream, and I got to talk to you guys, and I got to finish, and I got to do this, and then that. When we should be spending hours mourning every single person. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. So fuck you, Ben Gavir. Speaking of massacres, Israel just carried out another horrific massacre in South Lebanon, dropping massive bombs near Jebel Amel Hospital in Tyre, wiping out 3 apartment blocks full of civilians. People are still buried under the rubble. This is an American-backed, American-funded genocide. This is insane. 3 massive apartment blocks. Holy shit. Look at this. Look at all this destruction. Oh my god, man. How many people live here? Jesus Christ. This is the hospital, I'm guessing? Oh my god, dude. It's crazy. Polish Busher says, I'm sorry you're in this position, but you're genuinely informing us and we need the true information. Well, thank you, Polish. And I appreciate you being here. Ator's with 100 Argentinian pesos. Why say it in private? Are we talking about the same Trump who loves to post everything on his social media? It's fake leaks only to calm down the discontent of the cult. It's probably a fake leak as well. Fake leak or not, whether he actually said it or not, the result is the same. Nothing is happening on the ground, you know? Whether it's fake and it's just Trump trying to gain favor with his supporters who think that he's capitulating to Israelis and he's Israel's bitch, or whether or not he's actually angry and he's cursing out Netanyahu. Ultimately, Lebanese people are still getting killed. Lebanese land is still being seized and stolen and occupied. Palestinian land is being seized and stolen. They're being killed. They're celebrating Israel in fucking parades in New York. They're banning Hasan and Cenk from traveling to the UK because of their comments on Israel. Like, I keep hearing that Israel is more and more of a pariah and that they're more, you know, the world is turning on them, but like they are accomplishing all of their goals and no one's standing in the way. I think it's just going to take a few more years of the people, the younger generation that hates Israel to be in power. I don't know. Here's some more footage from that massive attack. Next to the hospital. Yeah, this is another angle. This is like a parking lot right here. Oh my god, dude. This is like straight out of a movie, man. This is from inside the hospital. Trigger warning, I have not seen this video first, so I don't know if there's anything super bloody or violent here, but just trigger warning just in case. Oh my god, look at all the kids. Little boy. He's got his little Crocs. Look at that, he's got his little purple Crocs. Oh my god, look at the view outside the hospital window, man. Can you imagine being at the hospital, going there for like a routine checkup, you're getting some kind of scan. It's already scary, it's already traumatizing to be in a hospital. You're scared, you're maybe getting some bad news. You're visiting a sick loved one. And then this fucking happens. you know, the world comes crashing down on you, literally. Holy shit, man. The trees, there's little trees in there. Like, I feel bad for the trees, man. There's like probably a car in there that's on fire, so that's why the smoke is still coming up there. Yeah, Polish says it changed the color of the glass. Crazy. This person, the fact that this person has enough composure to stand there and film with such still hands. Look at those kids, man. I'm sorry. Like, look, you can see more kids in the shot right here. Look at that. 3 little children, 3 little angel. They got that little pink outfits on, man. Their pink little shoes. Like, this is the Hezbollah that they talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at these little babies, man. Look at these little babies. Look. Look at this little baby. Devils. Far Twain sends a $5 dono, says, how far north are you from the bombing? You live in Beirut, right? I am pretty far north. I live 15 minutes away from Beirut. So I'm technically not affected by this. And even people who live in Beirut, they would technically be, what they're going to do is they're going to hear a lot of the explosions, and they might feel them if they're very heavy. But they're going to be focusing on the southern suburbs of Beirut. But I am, thankfully... But that's the thing. I'm thankful that I'm far, but I also feel guilt. Like, how fucked is that too? Like, I don't want to be targeted. I don't want to die. I don't want to be in an explosion. I don't want to feel the explosions. I don't want to hear the explosions. I don't want my cats at home to be traumatized. But I also feel super bad, and I feel super shitty that other Lebanese people have to deal with this while I don't have to deal with anything sometimes. So the whole thing is just crazy. Ideally, we just want peace. We just want peace. But if we can't have peace, then can we share the load some way, somehow? I don't know. Far Twain, thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much for the question and for, you know, for checking up on us. It's very kind. Let's watch a couple of news reports. Israel intensifies Lebanon assault after Trump says all shooting will stop. BBC News. President Trump says Israel will not attack. But I mean, as part of the crew, Nour lives in Beirut. Karine lives in Beirut. My girlfriend Demi works in Beirut. My cousins live in Beirut. I have so many friends, so much family that live. I used to live in Beirut. I was there when the August 4th blast happened. So it's very close. Lebanon is a very small country. So like Beirut is not very far away from here. And again, the whole country is now is being affected by the displacement. There's over 1 million Lebanese people displaced. They've all been kicked out of their homes in the south. Don't forget the massive fundraiser that we managed to do and raise a whole bunch of money to feed the displaced. So this is going to affect the whole country. Economically, the country is not going to be on its knees because you have a whole region, 20% of the country isn't producing anything anymore. No agriculture, nothing. What are all these people doing? They all used to have jobs or work at farms or run their own farms or whatever it is. Now they're all just sleeping in the streets or sleeping in public schools, waiting on aid. Lebanon's capital, Beirut, and Hezbollah has agreed to halt its rocket and drone fire against Israel. The president made the comments after a phone call with the Israeli prime. Not against. So again, they're holding their drone fire and rockets against Israel in Israel, but they're still allowed to attack the IDF within Lebanon. Minister Benjamin Netenyahu, he said he'd also spoken to representatives of Hezbollah. Iranian officials have increasingly been making it clear that there could be no agreement if Israel continued its offensive against Hezbollah in Lebanon. Thousands of Lebanese have been fleeing the southern suburbs of Beirut after Mr. Netanyahu ordered attacks, despite the ceasefire, on the area where Hezbollah... Polish says, Anthony, please be vague. It's Polish, you know, the problem is, if the IDF, they know everything. They know where I'm at. You know, they know where I'm streaming from. There's nothing we could do to stop them. If they want to come for me, which, again, I don't think they have any reason to, but if they wanted to come for me, I think they know, you know, they know. They can tell. Has long had its stronghold, calling them terrorist targets in Dahir. On the area where Hezbollah has long had its stronghold, calling them terrorist... Yeah, okay, call it a stronghold, you piece of shit. Again, of course, this is the BBC. I'm sorry we have to watch the BBC, but I just wanted to get, you know, it seemed like a good report. Calling it a stronghold essentially justifies it getting bombed. Just so you know, lady. Targets in Dahir. John Sudworth reports now from Beirut.
Israel's warning came just before 10 in the morning, and within minutes, families from this neighbourhood, deeply loyal to Hezbollah, were piling their children and belongings.
Deeply loyal stronghold. I mean, again, someone being a Hezbollah supporter does not make the place a stronghold. You know what it makes it? A neighborhood. Do you call neighborhoods in like red states or something like, you know, if they vote Republican strongholds? This is a right-wing KKK stronghold over here. This is a racist stronghold. Oh, my back. Oh, sorry. All right, back at it.
Into cars and heading for safety. Are you guys leaving? This woman tells me she is, but she's okay with it. Even if we're struck, we will support Hezbollah. She says it will be victorious.
Excuse me, why are you leaving?
We'll be back, this man says, and he too speaks of victory.
They be loyal. They be loyal. Sometimes it feels delusional when you hear people talk like that, but sometimes it fills your heart with like joy because they're like, listen, man, a home is a home. These people are defending our honor. They're defending our land. And that means more to us than a house or an apartment or something. On the other side, it also means like, I don't care what happens to my life. I'm with the resistance. And that could cost you your life. And that stops people from living. And that brings the whole country to its knees. And you can't plan for your life. Like it's not all good. Being like that isn't great. But it's also admirable in some senses, you know?
The Dahir district, where the militant group has deep roots, has been left relatively untouched for the past...
Like, our lives are shit because of this war. Like, you know what I'm saying? So people that are like, we don't care, just keep doing it. It's like, no, maybe we should stop. Maybe we should find a way, you know, around this. You know? But I get what he means, and I support the spirit. It is the reality on the ground is kind of exhausting. Is it fair to say?
Few weeks, but the Israeli Prime Minister said that was about to change. Together with the Minister of Defense, he said, I have instructed our military to attack terror targets in Beirut.
Zaytoon Zero says, yesterday I took a taxi to Beirut. The driver was super Christian. He started asking me where I'm from to make sure I'm Christian too before he started shitting on Muslims. Oh, what a debate we had. I don't even get into these conversations with cab drivers anymore. I don't even feel like fucking listening. I stick my headphones in. Even if I'm not listening to anything, I put them in and they just shut the fuck up right away. I don't have time to get into debates. I just want to get to my destination, not try to change some old grumpy man's mind. So yeah, don't have those debates. Stick your headphones in and get out of the car because it's just going to get you in a shit mood. They're going to say some racist shit. You're not going to be able to change their opinion. It's going to make me want to yell at them, and I don't feel like yelling at my cab driver. So, but I feel you. I'm sorry you have to go through that, Zaytoon Zero.
Israel says it's fighting to stop this, the barrages of rockets and drones fired from Lebanon by Hezbollah, and that once again today had to be intercepted by its missile defences. It's a constant threat for the fatigued communities below.
A normal person cannot stand the crazy situation we have here, so only with drugs a person can continue on functioning here.
It bothers...
Did you say a drugs person?
The crazy situation we have here, so only with drugs a person can continue.
Only with drugs. Ah, cool. So these are the people of the north. I mean, look, in this case, the people of the north of Israel and South Lebanon have the one thing in common where their lives are being disrupted. Essentially, they're having to they're being dislocated. They're having to move. But again, the Israelis were never supposed to be there. The people in northern Israel stole that land from someone else, and now they're like, oh, you're being displaced. That doesn't feel good. Oh, really? It doesn't feel good, huh? No wonder. So that's what's happening there. But the people of the north, their lives are kind of turned upside down right now because of the war with Hezbollah and Hezbollah retaliating and stuff like that, as they should, as they have every single right to. Lydia Cruddy just became a member. Let's go. Welcome to the family, Lydia Cruddy. Welcome back to being a member. Appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the channel. I need Valium to be able to live in the north. At least Lebanese people can live in the south without the use of drugs, lady. Without the use of drugs. Again, this is just American stuff. American exports.
Continue on functioning here.
It bothers us, this man says. It's hard to get up every day to the sirens and the children running to the shelters. This has been Israel's response. And in recent weeks, even as it's largely held off striking...
Yeah, a couple of random... I mean, by the way, and I said we can compare... Nothing can compare with what people in northern Israel are experiencing with people in southern Lebanon. Southern Lebanese villages are being razed to the ground, being completely erased, flattened parking lots. You've heard Ben Gvir. We got to flatten Beirut. He said the word flatten like 30 times in a 12-second video. Hezbollah will maybe manage to shoot a couple of like little random rockets here and there. Maybe a drone here and there targeting a soldier. So the damage that Hezbollah is causing in northern Israel is nothing. Nothing. In fact, it is negligible. And compared to the complete and total ethnic cleansing that Israel is doing in southern Lebanon, my God, night and day. Sure, do the people of northern Israel have to evacuate because it's inconvenient and they can't know if they're going to be hit? Sure, people in southern Lebanon, if you live in a southern Lebanese village right now, you know you're going to die. There's a 100% chance of you dying.
Beirut, it's been intensifying its military action in the south, with strikes like this one close to the hospital in the city of Tyre. It's been expanding its occupation too, with its troops pushing further north to take the strategically important Beaufort Castle this weekend. For weeks, the US was thought to be pressuring Israel to limit its action here in Beirut because of Iran's insistence that any wider peace deal must include Lebanon too. But with the negotiations now fraying, it seems the restraint has been lifted, and this district of Dahir and a wider city waits nervously to see what happens next. Meanwhile, Iran has said that if Israel's planes do strike this city, it will in turn target northern Israel. Once again, all talk of peace seems very premature. John Sudworth, BBC News, Beirut.
President Trump says US talks with Iran are continuing at a rapid pace, despite Iranian media reports that Tehran was pausing contacts with Washington. It comes as both countries have carried out attacks, with each blaming the other as the tension escalates. Where does it all leave the ceasefire? James Landell reports.
In this war, a ceasefire is fast becoming an exchange of fire. Iran said these missiles were launched at a US base that it said had been used to attack
A ceasefire?
Iranian territory. The sirens over...
Polish is asking how far north have people been forced to evacuate. Well, now it's north of the Zaharani River, which is pretty fucking north. And they're moving into like Beirut. They're moving into also the whole country. They're all over the country now, which they should be. I mean, wherever they can find, you know, somewhere to be. They got to be. Yeah, it's north of the Zaharani River now, which is even way north of the Litani River.
Kuwait City.
And here, by the UN Security Council divided over Israel's action in Lebanon. Oh, really? The UN is upset. The UN, we know historically, folks, the UN, very useful when it comes to situations like this. Not useless at all, as we've seen with the genocide in Gaza. Once the UN decides to take action, the world needs to stop and take notice, okay?
Across the Litani River. Denmark's ambassador to across the Litani River. Denmark's ambassador to the United Nations has called it a dangerous escalation and condemned Israel's offensive.
While Israel has the right to self-defense, this must be exercised in accordance with international law. We call for full respect for Lebanon's sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity. This includes withdrawing Israeli forces from South Lebanon.
Heard that before, lady. Heard it all before. International law, poof. Humanitarian law, poof. Need to withdraw, poof. What? You either stop them with weapons or they don't do shit.
We also reiterate our strong condemnation of Hezbollah's continued attacks against Israel and underline that these attacks must stop immediately. All parties must...
Gato says, I saw a graphic that said Israel has taken over 1/5 of Lebanon. That is accurate, Gato.
Must respect the ceasefire. We continue to support the direct talks between Israel and Lebanon and hope that they can pave the way for lasting peace.
All right, Al Jazeera's Gabriel Elizondo is live for us.
Jesus Christ, bro. There's bullshit coming out of these people.
At the UN headquarters in New York. So, Gabe, what's been said inside the Security Council chamber thus far?
Yeah, that's right. This meeting has just concluded in the last few minutes. It was a long meeting. We monitored every single minute of it. And I think the consensus was what you just heard from Denmark's ambassador was clearly the consensus by the vast...
Polish says, holy shit, the Zaharani River is almost in the middle. Yeah, now, Israel doesn't... They don't occupy the whole land up to the Zaharani River, but they've been evacuating people north of the Zaharani River. So all of the south, all of the border towns, Israel has destroyed and is occupying. And then they're still evacuating other areas within the south that are beyond the Litani. So it's crazy.
majority of council members, one after another, condemning Israel's incursion and occupation in Lebanon and its violation of Lebanon's sovereignty and territorial integrity. We even heard that from the UN briefer as well, a top UN political affairs official, Assistant Secretary General, saying that Israel's actions must stop in Lebanon, saying that it is also a clear violation of UN Security Council's Resolution 1701.
We know what that does. Violations of UN resolutions. Let's go. Nothing happens. That's what happens. What, you violated a UN resolution? Keep going. Congratulations. You just won another violation. And a car.
Now, France, of course, called for this emergency meeting. They are the pen holder of the Lebanon file on the Security Council, which essentially means they are in charge of any issues related to Lebanon when it comes to the Council. The French ambassador very clearly saying that, of course, Israel has the right to defend itself, something that we hear over and over again. But the French ambassador said that his country flatly rejects any actions by Israel that of occupation of any territory of Lebanon or even the buffer zone, if you will. So that is what we heard over and over again. Now, the U.S. ambassador to the UN took a different approach. He said, and I'm just going to read you exactly what he said. He said, the path is clear. Hezbollah must stop attacking Israel. The Lebanese armed forces and the legitimate government of Lebanon must assert their control over Lebanese territory, and Iran stop using Lebanon as a forward operating base. So the U.S. pivoting all of this to Iran.
So, Gabe, it was the...
that's right, forward operating base. There was this lady who said, what is Lebanon? Lebanon's not even a country. It's a forward operating base. That was like a year and a half ago at this point.
French, as you said, who spearheaded this meeting. What was the concrete aim that they had hoped would come out of this? And did anything concrete actually come out of this?
Well, hanging over all of this, of course, is the backdrop is, of course, the talks that could happen Tuesday and or Wednesday in Washington, D.C. between authorities from Lebanon and Israel.
Oops. Yeah, the talks are a waste of time, my guy.
So there were many council members that were basically trying to give support to those talks, knowing that they themselves in the council meeting would not be able to resolve this. But this was the form, as is often the case for Security Council meetings, for the Security Council members to state their country's position clearly. And I think we heard that, and I think there's clearly some benefit to that. As we talked about, the council has already passed Resolution 1701. Israel is clearly violating that. We heard from council members basically saying that Hezbollah is as well. But we heard from the Lebanese ambassador, and he basically told the council, please come out and condemn Israeli actions. The council must do that. Now, of course, the council in of itself as a group would not do that, but clearly individual countries as council members clearly did do that. But really, the council members as a whole put their weight and their support behind these talks in Washington that are expected to kick off this week, really saying that that is the best potential form for the guns to be silenced.
Let's see if it has any impact. Gabriel Elizondo for us there at the UN in New York. Gabe, thank you. With a few...
It's a clusterfuck. God, I opened my YouTube and Lego has officially announced a new wave of Pokemon. Smart play. Ooh, they are smart play sets. Oh my god, there's so many. Should I do like a live stream of these later? Oh, Mewtwo? Oh, dude, that's fucking awesome. Okay. Ugh. Sorry about that. That's some Tino's Playroom stuff right here. If you guys like Lego, you like video games, Tino's Playroom, link on top or bottom of the live chat, folks. Subscribe to watch me talk Lego, build Lego, do some fun Lego stuff. It is time to move to the Hasan banned from the UK portion of the show. Let me just open up those links really quickly. And then we'll move on to the H3 reaction to Hasan, etc., etc. We got good stuff coming up today. I'm just going to take a 2-minute break. Don't forget to subscribe to friend of the show, Jim D. Duker's YouTube channel. Take it away, Mr. Jim D. Dukers.
There's a man dressed in words, so he's suited for every occasion. His hat and his tie keep the sun off his eyes and the soup off his shirt. His coat's just a jacket, but his pants are his trousers. He's spelled out his stockings, tickling shoeboxes, galoshes galore. He resents his umbrella of words. It was downright unpoetic. So rare comes rain made from erasers.
Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined of having a better stand-in, a better co-host, just hop in and help us out while I take a break than the great Jim D. Dukers and his beautiful poetry. By the way, I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me try to show you. There he is. Moved him from over there. I had a Spider-Man sort of like art by a Lebanese artist. And we got our boy Jimmy D right here. I wish you guys could see him more on the frame. We'll figure it out another time. But he's here, folks. Anybody who's ever wondering, he's right here. He's never gone. And he's also here. And here. We do the best we can, folks. We do the best we can. It's not the same without him. It's not the same. It's a little better. Yeah. Got my back. Okay. Huh. Zafira with a 250 euros. We got a hat and a cat. Well, thank you. In honor of Jim, we got Jim's top hat. And is that little Oliver right there? Adorable. And Steeped Tay, who's been a member for 5 months. Thank you so much, Steeped Tay, for being a member for 5 months. We salute you. Says R.I.P. Jim D.D. Absolutely. We miss you, Jimbo. All right, moving on to our next topic, folks. As you guys know, Hasan was banned from going to South by Southwest in London. He and his uncle, Cenk, Cenk, who's getting ready to get on a plane, was boarding a plane to get to London, was told that he was not allowed to go to the UK. And Hasan later found out that he was also included in that. Jess Polito says, I still think he saw himself in you, Anthony. Jess, that would be an honor. If Jim saw any part of himself in me, that means I might have a bright future ahead. This was the statement. So South by Southwest London put out a statement. And here, I think, is this the full statement, or do I need to open this article to access the full statement? Let's see. Where's the statement? Okay, so let's see. So South by Southwest London has released a statement, and it says, decisions on entry to the UK are a matter for the Home Office and the individuals concerned. South by Southwest London's role is to convene a broad range of diverse voices and perspectives. We remain focused on delivering a programme this week fostering open dialogue and exchange of ideas, and featuring more than 800 speakers, artists, and screenings. That's it, you motherfuckers? That's literally it. Oh my god, that's the weakest. That is weak sauce. So okay, here's Hasan's reaction to that weak ass statement. Oh, you guys can't see me.
And all of that combined, I was like, sure, I'll do South by Southwest. And it's not like they're paying me.
Here's Hasan's reaction.
And all of that combined, I was like, sure, I'll do South by Southwest. And it's not like they're paying me, right? I'm not getting paid by South by Southwest to do this, right? It's actually really insane. I'm like doing this as a fucking favor, and they're literally like farming donations off of my image, off of my likeness.
Yeah, that is a shit
crazy
statement.
That
like, well,
they just once the Home Office intervened.
Like, well, you know, the decision of who enters the UK is not really our decision, but we're here to foster conversations. We have over 800 speakers and screenings and fun times. Did we mention we have giveaways and an activity booth? We have face paint. We have cotton candy.
Like farming donations off of my image, off of my likeness. And then it's crazy that they just, once the Home Office intervened and revoked my visa, when the Home Office intervened and revoked my visa, South by Southwest statement was disgusting. Like, it was literally nothing. To us, they were like, sorry, we have to abide by the government's demands. That was one. And then their public thing was they just deleted my background page.
What? Like, they don't even put out a statement being like at South by Southwest, we stand by freedom of speech and freedom of expression. And we regret that two of our esteemed speakers and guests have been at the last minute canceled. This is like, we demand an explanation. We demand a retraction, like something. Just be like, hey, well, that happened. We have no say in it. But hey, don't forget, we have other speakers. We got other entertaining things. Hey.
Like, they just deleted my speaker page. Like, as though, like, they hit me with the Trotsky cut.
That's crazy. We got a question from Desiree Portraits, who asks, what are your thoughts on Lebanese celebrities not talking about Lebanon? It doesn't surprise me, Desiree, because again, the situation in Lebanon, I mean, it should be simple. It should be straightforward. Evil occupying force trying to invade and occupy our country, bombing our civilians, murdering thousands of Lebanese people versus a local resistance. But the narrative in Lebanon is very different. I think celebrities feel like just the same as celebrities in the States or in Europe who refuse to stand by Palestinians in Gaza. They feel like they have something to lose if they pick a side. If I express my support towards the Lebanese resistance, anti-resistance Lebanese people aren't going to buy my music album, or they're not going to go watch my movie, or they're not going to stream my Shahid show. You know what I mean? So it's like a calculated political thing. Like, if I just stay neutral, if I try to please everyone, and if I try to appeal to everyone, I'll be fine, I'll be safe. So I think that's what it is. That's the calculation. Or they have a political take that is shitty. Like, maybe they do stand with like the US and Israel, and they know that if they say that, they're committing career suicide essentially because they're standing with the enemy. But I think it's, it's just self-preservation. People, I don't give a fuck about self-preservation. Like, at this point, I don't know how many potential work opportunities I can miss out on in my life, whether abroad or in Lebanon, because of all the controversial things that I've said and the personal opinions that I've shared. A lot of things that people will keep to themselves. You know what I mean? I made the decision that, like, fuck it, I'll burn it all down. I'm just gonna say what I want on the internet and let's see how it goes. And this is an experiment, and I might really end up regretting this decision 5, 10, if not now, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now. You never know, when you really put yourself out there. It comes with a risk, and people perceive me differently now when I'm in the streets. Lebanese people that even my own Lebanese audience now, because I've supported the resistance, there's a lot of Lebanese people now that dislike me or think that I'm a Iranian propagandist, or that I'm a pro-Hezbollah mouthpiece, or I've had all sorts of like insults hurled at me on Twitter. It comes with the territory of you're going to share your opinion online. You're going to be a public figure. You're going to do this. You're going to stream for a living. You're going to be on camera. And I stream a lot. I'm streaming hours a week. There's so many of my takes and opinions out there. Some of them upset others. Some of them are. Yesterday, the Eric Butts, that upset some people. You never know. It's always going to be, you know. The Oxford Union, where Hasan was supposed to speak, did put out a statement themselves, and this one is a much better statement. This is the kind of statement that South by Southwest should have put out. From the president of the Oxford Union, Arwa El Reyes, the Oxford Union intended to host Cenk Uygur and Hasan Piker on 6 June for a discussion and head-to-head event with our members. We are deeply concerned by the revocation of both speakers' electronic travel authorizations. Sorry, I don't know why the British accent made that word so much harder to read. Authorizations on the basis that their appearance would not be conducive to public good. These events had been publicly announced for months. This 11th hour call signals much more than democratic decline. It is a direct threat for free expression. The Oxford Union was founded on one principle: the ideas are challenged. Ideas are challenged through debate, not silenced by decree. We have never turned a speaker away because of their political beliefs, nor have we sought a permission slip from the state. We will not start now. This event will not be cancelled. The union will ensure this discussion takes place. Free speech does not require a visa. We will update our members shortly. Damn, I felt more and more British as this thing went on. God, I wish I was British. And I could speak with this accent. With authority. The Lord Vassal. Now that's a fucking statement right there. Now that is how you defend your speakers who are supposed to show up to your event and talk. That is how you defend your guests. Not like, and by someone in the comments from yesterday's stream was like, by the way, South by Southwest is like a Zionist entity. I didn't even know. So fuck South by Southwest to begin with. Hasan shouldn't have even agreed to go there to begin with. Just to shout out that, whoever that viewer was who shouted that out. I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know. MK says you don't want to be British, Anthony. I just want to sound British, okay? Quickly, just a couple little updates. So that's the South by South. Piers Morgan had Cenk on to talk about this. Let's just watch the quick 3-minute clip, and then we're gonna watch Hasan talking to Cenk and Anna real quick, and then we'll move on to Ethan Klein's reaction to all of this.
You've been probably my most regular guest on Uncensored since we began. And sometimes I'm concerned about your blood vessels, but when it comes to what you say about Israel, I've been, listening very intently. You've always been very careful to maintain your criticism of Israel and its government in particular.
I think Piers and Cenk love each other. They pretend to hate each other. They pretend, you know what I mean? But I think Cenk loves Piers for giving him the free publicity. And Piers loves Cenk for giving him the viral moments of Cenk losing his shit. This is a great example of a mutually beneficial relationship. Cenk feels like he needs some kind of boost because everyone's shitting on him on the left. So when he goes on Piers Morgan, he usually is talking about Israel and Palestine, so he gets positive press from it. You know what I'm saying? Usually. And Piers gets the Cenk going insane moments. So, Cenk isn't used to positive press anymore. Piers always needs that viral moment for his, new, what the fuck is he called? Maury of news, the Jerry Springer of news.
Decisions, but I've never heard you.
Haley D with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Haley. Says, okay, Mr. National Dish is an Indian dish. Hey, listen. Chicken tikka, are you talking chicken tikka masala? Or is curry the British national dish? Or is it a chicken tikka masala? Yep, chicken tikka masala. And actually, I would think fish and chips is more of the national dish, right?
Espouse any anti-Semitism. Never heard you be hateful about Jewish people or anyone because of their faith or their ethnicity. So I just don't understand what rationale the UK government could possibly have for banning you. Have you been able to find out any more?
Yeah, so let's break it down. So I go to the airport and they just say that I've been rejected by the British government and I'm not allowed to enter and hence I can't board the plane. They don't give any stated reason. Then about 20 minutes later, that Times article that you mentioned, Piers, comes out and it says it's because I criticize Israel in the wrong ways. Now, I don't know if the British government is going to put out a list of the acceptable ways to criticize Israel and the unacceptable ways to criticize Israel. That might be helpful because apparently we're going to need it. Over 60% of Americans are critical of Israel. Will we all be banned from the UK? Should everyone be careful about traveling to the United Kingdom? Because
dude, my ass is dude, if they look up my social, all of you in the fucking chat, we're all fucked. If they look up our social media histories before we travel, we're all fucked, chat. We're all fucked. I was gonna say I'm fucked. You're all just as fucked as I am. If they read your chat history in here, you guys are fucked. I'm sure your social medias look just as bad as mine. Your Twitters, whatever. We are fucked, man. Now, they went after Hasan because he's a public figure. I am technically a public figure, but I'm like this much of a public figure. You know, I'm not gonna have any trouble going to the UK, going to the States. Again, I'm a US citizen. They could try to give me trouble at the airport. I'm still gonna be fine at the end of the day. We're gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine, but like, this bad overall.
They might ruin your plans at the end if a different government is unsatisfied with you. Can they put out a list of things you're not allowed to say about Israel? And what's amazing is that you're allowed to say anything you want about the United Kingdom or about America or any other country. And they said the only thing they could grasp at, because I've never said anything anti-Semitic because I don't believe that. In fact, I believe the opposite. Is that they said that I said that America is controlled by Israel, the Congress is, because they're the top donor in this election, in this last election. By Israel, the Congress is, because they're the top donor in this election. They said the only thing they could grasp at, because I've never said anything anti-Semitic because I don't believe that. In fact, I believe the opposite.
That's what you guys were saying in chat. Dingafear says, I live in the UK and can't wait to be arrested for saying genocide bad. Von Rosewater says he's definitely a bigot against trans people. So is Anna. Their former trans employees all left. Oh, we're talking about Cenk here. Gato says, I'm not planning to cross any borders in the next couple of years. I mean, honestly, I would not have traveled to the States anytime soon. You guys know, I'm only going there to visit my family and my mom. Like, it's the only reason I'm going. If I didn't have to go, especially in the Trump era, like, oh my goodness, no way. You know, and especially during the genocide, like, I was like, I'm going there and spending money, and all that money's gonna some way, somehow go to support the genocide. I was like, this is all, you know, it's fucked. And I'm going to be in America during the 4th of July as well. The 250th anniversary of America. Like the ultimate 4th of July. I'm going to be there. Maybe I should IRL stream that shit, though.
And it is that they said that I said that America is controlled by Israel, the Congress is, because they're the top donor in this election, in this last election cycle. Well, that is empirically true. That is a fact. So are facts anti-Semitic now? Are news people not allowed to deliver facts to people? And if you say, hey, someone who is deeply anti-Semitic says the Jews are terrible and it's their fault and Hitler's good, etc., is in the same camp as a guy who says, no, this has nothing to do with Jewish people. In fact, 63% of Jewish Americans are opposed to the current Israeli government. And I make that distinction on the Young Turks almost every day.
You made it on the show regularly.
And if you put us in the same category, well, you know, you're destroying the idea of combating actual bigotry. It's almost like pulling a Jesse Smollett on a national level. And saying we don't care. And it's also deeply ironic to say that we're going to ban you for criticizing Israel by saying that our governments are controlled by Israel.
Yeah, that is the most ironic part, right? The government's controlled by Israel. Oops, Israel forced our government to ban Cenk Uygur from our country. It's like, what are we talking about here? Okay. Let's see Hasan's appearance on TYT. Let's skip the intro. Yeah, this is so old school watching TYT like this. People are saying TYT is funded by scam crypto. Yeah, guys, we're not defending TYT. In case anyone thinks I'm out here defending TYT, I'm not. We only ever defend Cenk and Anna because they give incredible content when it comes to Palestine and Israel. And I've tried to make it clear now. I'm at a point now, given what's happening in Lebanon and Palestine, I am more willing to forgive even voices that I very much disagree with, like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, these fucking freaks, legitimate freaks. I am at least going to use their pro-Palestine advocacy or anti-Israel advocacy to whatever advantage it can help, to whatever end. So Cenk and Anna, horrible on so many issues, great on Palestine, Israel. I'm going to cling on to them being great. Doesn't mean I'm going to forgive or ignore their horrible takes. Same with Candace, same with Tucker Carlson, same with all of these freaks. Marjorie Taylor Greene, whatever the fuck the character is. But right now, as Arabs, as Lebanese people, as Palestinians, we need all the help we can get. We need all the help you can get. Did Anna say something mean about a trans person? That's horrifying, and that's very sad. But we also need her advocacy for Palestine and anti-Israel advocacy. Did Cenk say something horrible about Guatemalan gangs or Venezuelan gangs? Yes, I'm gonna look past that just for a second and cling on to his good takes about Israel-Palestine. This is me talking as a Lebanese person. Not everyone in the chat has to agree. If you're not Lebanese, if you're not Arab, you don't have to make any of those like leaps or compromises. If someone says something that you disagree with, you have every single right to be like, you know what, discard it. I don't want you in my in the content that I consume. I don't want you in my vicinity. But right now, we're pretty fucking desperate over here. We're pretty fucking desperate. So we don't have the luxury of being picky anymore. We certainly do not. Every single commentator on the left, you can take them down for a reason or another. I love the Majority Report. They have a horrible take on Graham Plattner. I love Crystal Ball. Horrible take on Graham Plattner. I'm sure on a lot of other things. So every single political commentator has a few disqualifying features to them. Kyle Kalinske says some horrible shit and you know, goes too far with the dark woke that he can end up alienating certain individuals. But I'm still gonna stand by Kyle Kalinske when he talks anti-Israel, pro-Palestine, pro-Lebanon. So that's what. But I am not pro-TYT. We have covered many times all the shit that Anna and Cenk have done and all of their bad takes. But we have to. We got to take down Israel any way we can. So whatever army of weirdo clowns that we have to put together to do it, then we're going to have to do it. North Star Radio says anti-Israel, anti-Epstein front, based Anthony. Let's go. W's in the chat for North Star Radio, folks. Comrade Casey. Dusty says, I like Crystal. I really like Crystal, too. I really like Crystal. But, like, their Graham Plattner takes are fucking horrendous. Emma Vigeland's Graham Plattner takes are horrible. Everybody's got some bad takes. Okay, let's get to watching this before we move on to H3.
All right, welcome back to the Young Turks. Cenk, Anna Kasparian, and Hasan Piker joins us. So now that
Anna looks so displeased already because Anna's talked shit about Hasan on various podcasts and on the Habibi Pod podcast, right? Habibi House podcast, where yeah, she was like, Hasan is afraid of his audience and Hasan threw his uncle under the bus, etc., etc. There's no love lost between Anna and Hasan. And I said yesterday when Anna defended Hasan against Dave Rubin, I'm like, she really hates Dave Rubin. The only reason she's defending Hasan is because she hates Dave Rubin more. And she has a special kind of hatred for people like Dave Rubin and what was the other guy called? Jimmy Dore. Like all these characters, these ex-TYT characters, Dave Rubin, Jimmy Dore, who all left TYT with a lot of bad blood between them. She hates those people.
Both Hasan and I are here where you're at serious risk of public disorder. So mayhem might break out at any second now. So we're both on Hasan's stream on Twitch and our show on YouTube and everywhere else. So Haas,
can I start off with something a little different? So we're going to talk about Cenk and Hasan getting banned from the UK, but I see this as part of a broader campaign targeting you, Haas, because I don't like being put in a situation where I have to defend you. I'm just going to keep it 100. But Dave,
she has to throw shade. She can't not. And by the way, this is exactly how I scheduled my Hasan topics this year. I'm like, before we get into the Hasan South by Southwest, there is this one thing with Dave Rubin and Anna. And Anna's doing the same thing. They're about to talk about South by Southwest. But first, I have to talk about Dave Rubin. Like, content brain, folks. That's what this is. When you produce live TV, you organize news topics in the same way. But even now, she can't be like, I don't want to have to defend you, Haas. I don't want to have to defend you, but I'm gonna have to. Like, come on, lady. Just be nice to the guy.
From the UK. But I see this as part of a broader campaign targeting you, Haas, because I don't like being put in a situation where I have to defend you. I'm just going to keep it 100. But Dave Rubin went on a show and claimed that you harassed me and other women at work, which was a brazen lie. I went out and said that it was a brazen lie. You never once harassed me at work. What do you think this is about? And why do you think it's okay, or why do they think it's okay to just make up lies about you like that? I mean, like, sexual harassment is a serious allegation, and for Dave Rubin, who I haven't spoken to in over a decade, to speak on my behalf like that and make something up is insane.
Yeah, well, Hasan is, I mean, Hasan's actually like a pretty chill guy and doesn't like believe in suing people. He's not litigious, unlike Ethan Klein, who will find any reason to sue someone. People like Hasan, people like iDubbbz have been attacked on the internet over and over again. There are entire subgenres of content. There are channels that fully depend on hating Hasan and hating iDubbbz that churn out content every single day, defaming these guys. Yet they don't sue. Because I think people like Hasan, he keeps his eye on the ball, and he knows that his audience and his content stand for themselves. He is usually vindicated with most of his takes. So when you have faith in what you say, when you have faith in your beliefs, you don't need a court of law to fight for you or to prove that you're not a Zionist. Your words can do that. Your actions do that.
I think it's a campaign of misinformation and smearing prominent critics of Israel, no matter which way they can. And it's very obvious that they're getting increasingly more desperate. Now, with Dave Rubin, it's a unique predicament because on the one hand, I'm thinking like, is this a part of a broader sophisticated smear campaign? Or rather, is it simply just Dave Rubin being stupid? Because he's just so unbelievably stupid. So with Dave Rubin, you got to think about both of the options.
True.
But yeah, I do see a coordinated effort. Fox News is probably watching this broadcast right now. They have people stationed on my broadcast every single day. They just do like a transcript readout of every single thing that I talk about and post about it and publish it. On the other side, this is obviously escalated since the subpoena, which I never received, by the way. But Will Cain was talking about how like some counter protesters that were at the Delaney facility in New Jersey that I went to with Adam Hamawi, who's running for Congress in New Jersey, to check out the heinous conditions inside of the facility and to hear from the protesters about the ways in which the state troopers in New Jersey and the federal ICE officers were actually brutalizing them for exercising their First Amendment rights. There were a lot of agitators, a lot of counter protesters that were pro-ICE and disruptors that were there specifically to yell at the protesters. They, of course, yelled at me.
Alistair Russell, member, says this sounds less like she's defending Hasan and more like she's making sure everyone knows she didn't say this to Dave Rubin. So maybe she's just trying to look after herself. Good point.
As well. And Will Cain earlier today covered that as though it was actually the ICE protesters that were yelling at me. So I feel like there's this like effort to slander and smear prominent critics of Israel, prominent critics of the Trump administration, no matter which way they can. There's obviously a bipartisan effort in some respects. Josh Gottheimer earlier today also said I was because I called the Israel Day parade that took place that had Bezalel Smotrich on a Nazi parade. I said there's Nazis at this parade. It's a Nazi parade, and prominent Democrats.
That's the nicest thing you can call it. Calling it a Nazi parade is the smallest and most tame criticism you can give this fucking psychotic genocidal parade.
Like Chuck Schumer and Kathy Hochul were participating in a Nazi parade, and Josh Gottheimer didn't like that. And he was saying, you know, I've defended Hamas, and therefore, you know, maybe my read for who's a Nazi is broken. He's been ducking me. I've told him I'd be willing to have... I
gotta say, I don't love the suit, the color of the suit. This is giving me Lebanese restaurant waiter vibes. A lot of our, well, sometimes they won't wear this colored jacket, but this is like this color, like we have a Lebanese hat called the tarbouch, a traditional Lebanese hat, which is kind of like this color, maybe a bit more red. But when you go to like a traditional Lebanese restaurant, sometimes maybe the head waiter will be wearing some kind of jacket. And if it's not black, it's usually this kind of color. So I don't know why he's looking like a Lebanese waiter right now, like the mountains at a restaurant, and he's coming back with a refill of kebabs. You
know, like regular discourse with him. But yeah, none of these guys want to actually entertain the conversation. They can't actually attack the message. They can't counter message, so they attack the messenger and disparage. That's all they know. I mean, but I think people are fed up with it.
They'll call you anti-Semitic, but they'll never call you wrong, right? They never engage with the substance of what you're saying. So it doesn't surprise me at all that Gottheimer's running away. If he sat down and engaged in a debate with you, I mean, what's the substance of his argument? You can't defend.
You're also very Ron Burgundy. Whatever the power. Also, like the shoulder pads are a bit weird, no?
And the indefensible. We all see what's happening in Gaza. We all see what's happening in Lebanon. We see the entire global economy being destroyed right now as we speak because of this war that the US got dragged into against Iran by Israel. So I just feel like, look, everything that's happening right now, they think it's gonna work. Like these bans, they think it's gonna work. The censorship, they think it's gonna work. Everyone sees what's going on. And in fact, everything they're doing is actually incredibly counterproductive to what they want to accomplish here.
Yeah. So Haas, to that point, how do you think that the rest of this plays out, right? And I don't mean about the UK, we'll come back to them in terms of whether we're ever allowed to go there again. I mean, it's hilarious. You were just there a little while ago. I was just there a little while ago. Mayhem didn't break out. The public order wasn't immediately destroyed, right? But like, So it feels like the powerful in the US and the UK and in a lot of Western countries, but not all of them, are starting to tighten their grip. And that they've lost the media wars. So they're just going to outright oppression. But now the overwhelming majority of British citizens and American citizens are on our side, not their side. So how does this movie end?
I mean, I think inevitably there's.
Wait, this is weird. The members, it says 408. We started with 406. So sometimes this is updating on its own. This is crazy. Because half the time I have to manually update the members when they go up, but sometimes they update on their own. Because this was 406 when we started the episode. I swear to God. Yes, it was. So we went up 2 members? That's crazy. Thank you. I know someone joined earlier. I know that Lydia Cruddy either renewed or became a member, and I guess someone else did as well. Thank you guys so much. It's weird. Like, I guess it does update on its own, but I still have to fix it manually. Sorry for that aside.
Going to be too much public pressure, and once there's too much public pressure, governments like our government here in the United States and governments in the UK and you know, far beyond in Europe as well are going to have to make a decision. Do they want to drop all pretense that they have a democratic process, that they care about like liberal humanitarian values that they claim to espouse, they claim to care about, or are they going to increase the repression? And unfortunately, what a lot of people either don't understand or are moving in the direction of is exactly that. What did the UK do? They prescribed Palestine Action as a terrorist organization, and then they started arresting en masse thousands of pensioners, you know, disabled protesters, young people that would dare to say that they support Palestine Action.
Well, they're so dangerous. They're so dangerous. All those elderly people that they rounded up and arrested, so dangerous. And by the way, Haas, you know, Cenk alluded to the fact that you were in the UK not that long ago. And I want to show everyone what you were talking about when you were in the UK not too long ago. Let's take a look at that.
Anti-Semitism is a canary in the coal mine of fascism. It's one of the oldest bigotries that has caused those of the Jewish faith a tremendous amount of pain. From pogroms to the Holocaust, Jews have always been singled out by those in power as a scapegoat for instability and economic volatility people in power caused. A resilient, nascent anti-Semitism is a constant threat.
Kay from Canada says his glasses are always way too big for his face, adding to that small head optical illusion. I have pretty big. I mean, I guess my glasses aren't big as his glasses, but these are pretty big glasses. Does that make my face look smaller? Does that make my head look smaller? Oh my God, my head. Ugh. By the way, like if you're watching live, like we have 228 people watching live, but only 98 likes. Let's go hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. That way you can join our live chat. Our live chat is subscriber exclusive, not member exclusive, but subscriber. So you have to subscribe to the channel. Jump in, say hi, introduce yourselves, join our community. Consider becoming a member if you want to. Members get exclusive live streams. Let's go.
Especially as economic instability makes those in power seek out old targets. They're not very creative, usually. They just always rehash the same propaganda over and over again. This is precisely the reason why I am terrified of the conflation of anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism. The conflation is dangerous. Valid criticisms against the state, especially as all of the violence is unfolding, and everyone can see it. Valid criticisms against the state committing these atrocities and tying it back to Judaism is a cynical ploy to stop all matter of conversation is truly terrifying. And I think it directly causes anti-Semitism to fester.
And look, I agree with everything you said there, and I don't see the Zionist project as a project that seeks to protect the Jewish population. In fact, they couldn't care less about anti-Zionist Jews, and the treatment of anti-Zionist Jews makes that abundantly clear to me. I mean, look at the way they talk about people like Dave Smith, Glenn Greenwald, and others, and it's amazing to me that the people who are getting punished right now are those who have a problem with mass slaughter campaigns and land theft. It's insane. That's not really a question. I just wanted to make that statement.
Yeah, but I'm curious for Hans to finish his thought.
Yeah.
So now that the audience has seen, of course you didn't say anything anti-Semitic. In fact, you said the exact opposite. Literally the exact opposite, right? So, but how does this movie end? Because now our governments say, we don't care what you think. It doesn't matter. We're just going to oppress you on behalf of Israel.
Yeah, I don't know. There's only 2 options out of this, obviously. It's either de-escalation on behalf of the British government, on behalf of the American government. And we have seen some de-escalation on other issues from the American government, like in Minneapolis, where there was far too much public pressure through these people-backed campaigns of people going out and protesting against ICE activity. It was an occupation by the Trump.
Okay. We don't have to finish this whole thing. I just wanted to kind of show a little bit of their conversation, Hasan and Cenk on TYT. It is now time to move for the reason that a lot of you guys are here. which is H3H3's reaction
with him last week.
And, you know, obviously unhinged reaction. But before we get into Ethan's reaction to Hasan and Cenk being banned from the UK, there is one more Hila from Israel video that I want to bring up. And then Hila is going to discuss her Israel trip. And then, because we already did almost a whole live stream. We spent like an hour looking at Hila Klein's Israel stories, normalizing Israel during a genocide. And we're going to watch. This is the final batch that I was able to screen record. And this one was honestly fucking insane. So here is Hila Klein's final batch of Israel vlogs. Celery, bit, apple, orange is so good. So she's having a drink. It's so nice. A little troll head, very cute. Oh, look at that. They like trolls in Israel. Okay, this is fucking crazy, dude. She's at some like clothing store. And they have a fucking noose hanging from the ceiling. Like, I'm sorry. If this did not look like a noose to you when you filmed it, if you didn't know what you were doing or what they meant by hanging a fucking noose from their ceiling, by the way, in Israel, where Ben Gvir and other right-wing Israeli politicians walk around with a golden noose hanging off of their suits to signify that they want to hang Israeli Palestinian prisoners. Ben Gvir's own birthday cake had a fucking noose on his birthday cake because that's how fucking insane Israelis are. So a clothing shop in Israel has a fucking noose, and Hila Klein is like, oh, this looks so nice. Let me take a photo. Let me take a video and show it to my followers. What the fuck? What in the fucking hell? Why the fuck is there a noose hanging in the middle of a clothing shop in Israel? And why the fuck does Hila Klein, who's already accused of being a mega Zionist, who's called Yoav Galan a really good guy, why is she filming the noose and posting it on Instagram as she tries to normalize Israel? Like, is this trying to like normalize the visual of a noose? Like, oh, you know, in Israel, we love camels, we love pineapples. We love watermelon, and we love nooses. This is the same store with the noose, by the way. Let's see what they got at that dinner table. Let me try to recognize what these foods are. Okay, we got some yellow rice, carrots. What is that? Some potatoes and chicken? I can't tell the protein, or if there is any protein in here. Could be chicken and potatoes. Looks like, you know, I think they call this Israeli salad, but this looks like a regular, just, you know, fattoush salad or some kind of salad. What else we got here? Fish fillets, some salmon maybe. Okay, rice and peas, yellow rice and peas. Cabbage stuffed with, I don't know what it's stuffed with, but this looks like some cabbage stuffed with something, some potatoes on top of that cabbage. This all looks badly prepared. Fuck are these? I don't know what the fuck this is. Is this like a giant meatball of some kind? I cannot tell what this is. Leave it to an Israeli to completely make something look unrecognizable. What is this? Are these potatoes? Some kind of meat? What is this? What the fuck? Okay, so these are sweet potatoes and like onions and regular potatoes. So just a bunch of veggies. Okay. Okay, this is a meatball. So this was a giant meatball. I was right. Artichoke with meat and peas. Oh, the Camel Comedy Club. We talked about that yesterday because during the Israel Day Parade, they were like, remember last year when there were camels walking down the street for the Israel Day Parade? I'm like, what? Are Israelis trying to appropriate camels now? Because everybody knows camels are quintessential Middle Eastern stereotypes, and we hate it. Most Arabs hate it when you tell them, oh, you're from the Middle East, don't you have camels there? We hate it. All of us hate it. Even people in Saudi Arabia, where they have camels everywhere, they're like, please don't mention the camels. Stop talking about camels. But now that Israelis want to appropriate camels and claim camels as their own, I'm going to get a camel tattoo on my neck, folks. Camels are ours. We love camels. Who needs a car when you can ride a camel? Am I right, folks? Yeah, camel comedy. Look at that. Israelis making jokes while Palestinians get charred and burnt and killed. Israelis have the luxury of performing comedy. Look at all the clubs. People are having so much fun. There's so much laugh here in Israel. We laugh, we drink, we eat. Look at that. You know who would love to be sitting at a cafe right now enjoying some dinner? Palestinians. You know why they can't do that? Israelis and the IDF and genocide and ethnic cleansing. Like, she doesn't understand that showing this only highlights the inhumanity and only highlights the injustice and the inequality of what Palestinians and Gaza have to go through, and Lebanese people now in South Lebanon and all of Lebanon and the whole Middle East. She doesn't understand that for these Zionist freaks to be sitting there and doing what they're doing, it comes at the cost of subjugating Palestinians and putting them in an open-air prison and not letting them travel freely within Palestine and not letting their family members come back to their land in Palestine. You do all of that to maintain this fake, whatever the fuck this is. Look at that. Yeah, everybody's out in full force. Out in full fucking force. There you go. Look at that. Making full use of that Palestinian land they've stolen. Oh my god, I had to get the gelato. Can't get away from shitty techno even at a gelato shop. Look at the beach. Again, you know, Palestinians can't go to the beach. If they try to... When they were trying to fish in Gaza, they were bombing their little fishing boats out of the water. They weren't letting them fish because they wanted to enforce starvation and famine. So Palestinians can't even go to their own shoreline and fish. This is also Palestinian shores, but, you know, it's now been stolen by the Israelis. And look at that. Look at what they're up to. While people in Gaza are getting killed, while Lebanese people here are getting slaughtered. Full-on normalization. Full-on look at how nice this is. And again, I said this last time. She's showing you this to be like, you see what we have to protect? You see what the Muslims are trying to take from us? Look at all this beauty. Look at all of this peace. You know? And Hezbollah and Hamas are trying to take it from us. So we justify our genocide. Did she just try to film a Muslim lady to be like, look, we live side by side. Look, you see, there's a woman wearing a veil. We are all friends. Why are you filming people without their consent? Why are you filming children without their consent? Why are you out there just filming random children at the beach? Hila, why are we doing this? I swear she just wanted to get the shot with the Muslim lady. Look, I found one Muslim. Let me film her. There is so much peace and equality here. Look, I filmed the only one person that I found. That is the end of Hila's vacation in Israel, but that's not all, folks. She actually talked about it a little bit on yesterday's episode. Let me find the time code exactly. At around 3 hours and 35 minutes, Hila describes her visit to Israel. Let's listen in and see how fun that trip was. If you guys want to watch the full H3 podcast, go ahead and watch it on their channel. I'm going to be pausing to offer criticism and reaction. Support them. Watch the original video.
Weed chat.
Weed chat?
Weed chat.
Did she just
That's
admit
one of
to taking
the
drugs?
oldest special interest groups in our chat is WeChat.
They're huge in our chat.
They're huge.
I don't know if you pay attention.
They go way back.
Yeah. It's probably them or Ball's chat. Those two. They go way back.
Hey, shout out to our WeChat.
Yep. Let me see. Med school. Andy.
Came on here. There was a donation that was big from Sriracha Good.
Jeez.
$100.
Damn.
Tell us about your trip. We missed you. That was just when I joined, so I don't wanna ignore. It was amazing. It was really fun. I haven't been there for 5 years, so
it was amazing and it was really fun. Oh, that's nice. It's nice to know that Nazi Germany is amazing and fun during a genocide. What else? What else did you see there?
It'd been 5 years.
Really? Yeah.
Like, where the fuck does the time go?
I know, and it was like I almost had like just a week there, so I made myself and my family a schedule so that it would be action-packed and we won't miss anything.
Yeah, Haley says any WeChat worth a damn is here. Hell yeah. Kate from Canada says WeChat rise up. Come on, you freaks, you weed freaks.
Yeah.
Where the fuck does the time go?
I know, and it was like I almost had like just a week there, so I made myself and my
5 years is a long time to be away from Israel, you know? You know how long some Palestinians have been waiting to return to their home, Hila? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75 years. Isn't that crazy? If you think 5 years is long, God, let me tell you, 75 years is even longer.
family a schedule so that it would be action-packed and we won't miss anything.
Numpho says, imagine sending multimillionaires $100. You know, that always fucking gets to me. When I see them getting like $50 super chats, $100 super chats, $300 super chats, and half the time they don't even read them. They go unnoticed. They just like slip by. They're just like, I'm just like, oh my God, dude, they're sending rich people. That's how they survive though. Like they need the super chats as part of to remain rich. But like, yeah, I cannot imagine. I could never imagine sending, unless I really needed them to read something, and I can't imagine what that would be. Sending a bunch of millionaires hundreds of dollars so they can read your super chat is kind of fucking nuts. You know, I just hope these people are rich and it's not some average fucking poor person sending them $100 and then they ignore their super chat. Like, I hope the people sending those dollars, you know, can afford them.
And we did it all. It was so much fun. My nephews, I almost had like just a week there, so I made myself and my family a schedule so that it would be action-packed and we won't miss anything. And
oh, we know it was action-packed. We were able to keep up with everything.
And we did it all. It was so much fun. My nephews, we went for the bar mitzvah. He turned 13, and they did it in Jerusalem, which I've never done before. And that was really cool.
You stayed with your mom?
I stayed with my mom. And
in Jerusalem, by the way, they spit on Christians. When Christians walk around in Jerusalem, which he says, it's really cool in Jerusalem. Let's watch some footage of Israelis spitting on Christians in Jerusalem. You guys want to do that? Mm-hmm. I want to. Or as we call it in Arabic, Urashalim. This is from 3 years ago. Israeli settlers verbally abuse and spit at Christian nuns in Jerusalem. I went to Jerusalem. It was very nice. Tell me more, Hila.
My other brother and yeah. And all the fans that I met were so nice. They all said the same thing. They said thank you for everything that we've been doing, and they said that a lot of them really identify with our views and like. And all the fans that I met were so nice. They all said the same thing. They said thank you for everything that we've been doing.
All the fans. So hey, H3's got a lot of fans in Israel. You don't say. You don't say. You have a lot of fans supporting you, and they agree with what you're saying. What? Your Israeli fans in Israel, who are definitely not Zionists, agree with all of your definitely not Zionist takes? What? So you're telling me, wait, Hila, you're telling me that your Israeli fans agree with Ethan's take that Hamas uses human shields? You're telling me that your Israeli fans agree with the thought that Hamas has bases under hospitals? Are you telling me that your Israeli fans believe that from the river to the sea means that Palestinians want to genocide all of the Jews? And are you telling me that your Israeli fans also think that if Palestinians outnumber Jewish people in Israel, that means they're going to kick them all out and kill them? And it's going to become a new genocide is going to happen? Really? Damn. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Far Twain sends a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Far Twain, for the generous donut. We very much appreciate it. It says, AB sitting there watching and producing the Zone of Interest Hasbara with a smile on his face like a good boy. Money over everything. Exactly. Hey, you got to pay for that expensive rent. You got to pay for that expensive episode. You got to do it. You know, you want to live in LA? Listen, guys, I may be poor, but I have my dignity and I have my pride. And goddamn it, no one can take that away from me, especially not a couple of Zionists. Holy shit. You know what I'm saying? I am more than happy to live, you know, by my means and to live a life that I can afford, a humble life. You know, a life that I can be proud of. But at least I can look back and be like, yeah, I didn't work for Zionists. Yeah, I didn't help them spread a bunch of pro-Israel propaganda over 2 years. Yeah, I didn't help them sue some of the creators that I myself used to look up to. So, you know, money's nice. A clear conscience, even nicer. And that's priceless, my friends. Priceless.
And they said that a lot of them really identify with our views and like the way you talk, Ethan, about the
Culture Heidelbein. Culture Heidelbein sends a $2 dono. Thank you so much, Culture. And says she's full of shit. She ain't met nobody. Actually, I did see her in one of her Instagram stories. She did take a picture with someone wearing a Teddy Fresh hat. So that might be the person she's talking about. But they definitely have fans in Israel. Come on, they have fans in the IDF. That's the only thing that scares me, is that they're Israeli fans who watch their show and watch them call me Milhouse and watch them call me an anti-Semitic freak. They have fans in the IDF who can actually do something about it. Isn't that fucking crazy and scary? So the fact that H3 get to talk about me and get to call me an anti-Semite to their audience of Israelis and Zionist freaks, some of whom are in the IDF, that is nuts because I am in their crosshairs. Oh yeah.
stuff that's happening, they really identify with the way you talk about it, and they can't find it in a lot of places these days. And they said even in Israel, sometimes they're worried expressing themselves because things have gone so extreme on both ends that if you're like, you feel somewhere in the middle, they don't really feel safe expressing them.
Yeah. Again, there is no middle ground in a genocide, Hila. There's no middle ground in an apartheid. If they're kind of in the middle, you're either a fucking right-wing freak or you leftist who supports a one-state solution. The in the middle ground, you can't both sides a genocide. You can't both sides an occupation. You can't both sides apartheid. You can't do it. I'm sorry. So either embrace who you really are, accept who you really are, and join your friends in the Knesset and the extreme right wing in Israel, or fuck off. Like, what are we doing here? We're just in the middle. I want Israel to exist as a Jewish ethno-state and Jewish majority, but I hate the term self-determination. Like, at this point, the word has become a fucking parody. But I also want peace and self-determination for the Palestinians. That can't fucking happen. I'm sorry.
Themselves very much. So they feel comforted when they can hear you on such a large platform express your opinions.
Listen.
That was something that a lot of people told me. So
That's very nice to hear.
Wanted to tell
Hey, it used to be a much larger platform, Hila. Did you know that?
Tell you that. And yeah, it's crazy. Right now, it's wild in Israel. Like, it depends where you are. I was in Tel Aviv mostly, so right now in Tel Aviv, everything is fine. So, like, you wouldn't even know it. People are partying. Like, at 1 a.m., places are packed. The streets are packed. They're just, like, they party all night there. But
oh my God, I love Tel Aviv. Israelis really know how to live. Tel Aviv is packed. And, like, she's making it sound like northern Israel is remotely like Lebanon. Like, I'm sorry, South Lebanon is being erased. By the way, she's talking about how much fun she had in Israel while their country bombs the living shit out of my country. So fuck you very much for that. It was so fun. We had so many plans. It was so well organized. God damn, man. Out there talking about their fun vacations. I don't even know if I can travel. I don't even, like, I booked my ticket to the States. I don't even know if by the time my time comes to travel, I'll be able to leave, because is the airport going to be fine? Is Israel going to be bombing us again? Are they going to go back to bombing Beirut? Like, we can't even live our lives. And okay, a couple of people from northern Israel had to evacuate. Does northern Israel look anything like southern Lebanon looks like now? Absolutely not. So they're the victims of the poor people of the north.
in the north, for example, it's a whole other reality right now. There's a war with Iran, with Lebanon and Hezbollah. Yeah, so it's that's
haram, ya haram. Northern Israel eats maybe like one rocket every 10 days from Hezbollah, while you've seen, you know what South Lebanon looks like now. You've seen. I don't want to look at that stuff again. And yeah, they're complaining about that. Cool.
the reality there. It's always complicated.
There it is.
Yeah.
The reality there, always complicated. Yes, very complicated. Apartheid is just complicated.
Yep.
And I was unexpectedly getting so emotional everywhere. Like, I don't know, maybe because I haven't been there in so long, and like, you know, everything that's happened since I left the last time.
What were you getting? Oh, just
the genocide. You know, the genocide really got me emotional. Again, like, imagine going to Israel and like, I know she grew up there, but like, bro, your country's committing atrocities. You can say this is disgusting. I used to love Israel when I was younger, loved growing up there, but like, this is disturbing to me. No, she loved it and she cried and everything was getting her emotional after everything that's happened. Like, you dirtbags, you fucking dirtbags.
With your sentimental with your mom and friends.
Yeah, I was like crying all the time.
Interesting.
Yeah, but
For the Palestinians, I'm sure, right? For the injustice, for the genocide. That's why you were crying, right, Hila?
It was very cool, and I got a tattoo.
Oh yeah.
I'm not wearing
Kind of high up in your leg, but there's
yeah,
pictures of it.
Next time I'll show it when it's healed, and I'll wear something I can show it.
Whoa, Dino! Ah! It's a T-Rex behind you, Hila.
Nice that you can get tattoos there. You can get tattoos. You can go for drinks. You can have fun in Tel Aviv. It's like there wasn't a genocide happening there.
My God. What? Is that it? Oh.
There's just a couple more. And
Is that it?
We are.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it with... Oh, is she done?
Yes, for me, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
For me, that's it. Okay, clear. Thank you, Hila. Moving on to Ethan and the H3 crew reacting to Hasan being banned from the UK. There we go. Hasan got banned from the UK, so that's from 1:30. Oh, that's a 40-minute segment. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's start it now. Excuse me. Yeah, she got another tattoo, folks. Do y'all want to look at the tattoo before we move into this? I'll have to get it off of Instagram. Excuse me. Copy link. Sorry, guys. We're doing this the right way. Okay. Let me open my WhatsApp. No, she already has a Star of David. T-Talk. She got a new tattoo. Here it is. It's Hebrew. And that's the tattoo artist. It's called Maya. I don't know what this means. Someone in chat says, McG says, this too shall pass. What, the genocide? What's going to pass? What are we talking about, Hila? Anyways, that's the tattoo. Very nice. Very all colorful Israeli. I love Israeli tattoo artists. They're the best. Israel. Oh, yeah. Okay, here is Ethan reacting to Hasan being banned. We're at 1.25 speed, I believe. Yes, let's go.
I don't want to make a major focus because I know people are real sensitive about what is and isn't
It's
in the UK.
England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and I think the Isle of Man is considered its own thing. It's like a little island in between Ireland and Britain.
Well, they're banned from the whole damn kingdom. And it's actually an interesting story. Let's take a look. Now, here's
interesting because it's a sign of censorship and fascism and Israel having a much bigger hand in international politics and governments and corruption, right, Ethan? That's why it's fascinating. You're completely going to disagree with this. I mean, you've had your differences with Hasan, but you certainly see how this is crazy, right?
Hasan's is a little more nuanced and interesting.
Shut the fuck up!
Cenk, his uncle, who is the owner, operator, host of The Young Turk.
Cenk, not Shank, you motherfucker. Cenk. He loves reading names the wrong way. I think either as a way of being disrespectful and he's just an idiot.
Is less so interesting and more quite straightforward. I mean, we all know the reason why Cenk was banned. He says it's because he's anti-Israel. No. We all know the reason Cenk was banned.
I believe that if I were the benevolent dictator of the world, I would legalize bestiality where you are giving, where you are pleasuring the animal.
There's a lot of sheep.
Ethan, try not to call someone an anti-Semite challenge. Let's go.
In the UK.
You see what I'm saying?
And actually, Cenk wasn't even banned he was banned by the Agriculture and Livestock Department.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it wasn't
he
even
was banned for bestiality.
It wasn't Homeland Security or comms or politics. Literally, they didn't want him to fuck all the sheep.
You see what I'm saying?
I see, and they see what you're saying too, Cenk, you sick fuck.
My grandparents are first cousins.
That's irrelevant. I don't know.
Might explain a lot.
I don't think that'll explain why you want to fuck animals.
You see what I'm saying?
So put it, setting Cenk aside for wanting to fuck all the sheep in the UK. Let's take a look at what's going on with Hasan. So let's see here.
No, please.
By the way, they're out there accusing Cenk of being into bestiality or whatever the fuck. Like, okay, let's move on.
By Southwest London, give a speech at Oxford. He goes, I was banned from the UK, tried to get on a flight to London to attend South by Southwest London, give a speech at Oxford. I've been banned for criticizing Israel. Are we free anymore? This is oppression of Western citizens by our own governments. I find it interesting how he's trying all of a sudden now to be like, us in the West, we're all together. We're all one. Because I don't know, I feel like there's very much like...
Sorry, let me just move myself.
He's not British, is what you're saying.
He's not British, yeah.
Right.
And you're traveling to the UK, so I mean, they listen. All these people love to shit on America, unless there's tons of criticize America for, obviously, right? And much of the criticisms I would co-sign, but America has a...
Shut the fuck up. They love criticizing America. So Ethan is now the defender of America, the defender of liberty. He's basically a right-winger. Right-winger arc, you know, continued. He stopped pretending of being a leftist. Now he's a centrist. Why do these people love criticizing America?
Really great freedom of speech. We have an amendment that protects freedom of speech, and listen, in the UK, they don't, right? And so the UK actually does routinely do this, where they'll prohibit people from entering the country based on, so what they're officially saying is like, not conducive to the public good or something. I forget how they exactly worded it. But we all know Cenk's lying. It was the sheep. Be honest, Cenk. Bah! He got a message that said, bah! And then Hasan quote tweeted.
This is like chronically unfunny, man. I don't know what this is.
The UK has revoked my visa as well. At the behest of Israel, the West is betraying, quote, liberal values for a genocidal fascist foreign government. Soon we will all become Israel. I don't know what that means. Soon we'll all become Israel.
Look it up.
I don't know what that means, because before you said something like, you're acting...
It means that there's going to be more of you in America. It means that America is not only going to become a stooge to Israel and does whatever Israel wants, it's literally going to become Israel, where there's going to be second-class citizens based on their political takes and beliefs.
Like Israel. He said that about me, I think.
We're going to turn into a country, man, collectively.
By the way, Ethan is literally behaving like Israel.
Yeah,
This
like
is Israel-style behavior.
What is that Israel-style behavior?
I always used to say that Ethan was Israel, and the people criticizing him were the resistance. Ethan's got all powerful. Instead of having Western money and Western weapons, they have the massive audience that they have. They have money. They have, those are their resources. They have resources. They have connections with YouTube, etc. And they're trying to silence criticism. And they think that by suing people that criticize them, just like Israel thinks that by killing resistance fighters that they are going to silence criticism. Instead, you're just creating more criticism. You're just creating more opportunities for people to want to defend themselves against you and to criticize you. You can't stop resistance. You can't kill resistance. Resistance is a spirit. It's something you feel. So is criticizing YouTubers.
We'll all be Israel.
I've been telling Ethan I would suckle on his udders if he bought those udders. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
I would drink milk out of his titty.
That's the news. I don't remember that clip. That clip makes me uncomfortable.
That changes everything.
Yeah, that does change everything. Now, what I will say about this is that obviously, so they're quick to blame Israel for everything. I mean, literally, like, I'm not even kidding when I say Hasan blamed him electrocuting his dog on Israel. He said it was Israel.
Yeah, why was Hasan banned from the UK then? Please enlighten us, Ethan Klein. You tell us. If it wasn't for his commentary on Israel, please tell us what it's about.
PSYOP.
Right.
So they're quick to blame everything on Israel, but the people.
Yeah, Dan. What happened to Dan was heartbreaking.
Being to get him banned, we're for sure pro-Israel, but I really think that this is a bit of an abdication of responsibility. I mean, the guy goes online, And, you know, he's not just critical of Israel. He has expressed support for a lot of terrorist organizations and violence against people, against sitting.
Terrorist organizations like Valid Resistance Forces. Oh, great. Haley sends a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Haley. And says, did she video meeting the fans? If not, she's lying about meeting fans, in my opinion. No, we only had a photo. There was only a photo, no video. But I have to say, like, I do believe that she met fans, and I have no doubt that they have Israeli fans because, A, their show is psychotic. Their takes on Israel and Palestine are psychotic. Israel is full of psychotic individuals who would agree with Ethan and Hila's take, so it's not going to be crazy for them to run into fans that like, oh, hey, we love your takes on Israel, Palestine. We also believe in a two-state solution and blah, 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 you know? So that doesn't shock me that they're going to have similar beliefs. And also, Israel is a relatively small country. Like here in Lebanon, I only have 30,000 subscribers, and more than half of my subscribers are like from abroad, and I still get recognized in Lebanon almost like at least half the time I go out, I get recognized. Last time when we went to watch Mandalorian and Grogu, two people asked me for selfies at the movie theater. I shit you not. So if I, with my little tiny audience, get recognized in Lebanon, Hila, Klein, and H3, like the legendary YouTubers, are definitely gonna get recognized in Israel. Like I think that's not too crazy to believe. And again, they're Zionists, and Israel is all Zionists. So it's like they're meeting their people. They're probably their most loyal audience now. Their most loyal fan base is Israel based at this point. It is literally Israelis and Zionists.
Members of the United States Congress, right? And here is, and like the Japanese former prime minister, and the UK actually listed their explicit reasons, which I can read to you. Let's see here. What was the third one? There was 3 statements that were explicitly cited as reasons. One of them was his recent statement that Israel is 1,000 times worse than Hamas. Not the IDF, by the way, Israel. The country is 1,000 times worse than Hamas. Now,
yep, I don't see what he said wrong there. Nothing to correct.
Listen, that is a controversial statement.
Not that controversial. Not when you're a victim of the IDF and when you're a victim of Israel. And again, it's only the IDF. I'm sorry, bro. The IDF, all Israeli citizens are combatants at one point or another. Did the IDF make those racist fucking songs chart at #1 on the Israeli Billboard chart? No. Is the IDF out there making racist TikTok trends? Yes, they do, but they're not the ones starting them or necessarily the only ones supporting them. The entire Israeli population is participating in this heinous behavior. Most of the Israeli population agrees that what the IDF is doing in Gaza is either just enough or not harsh enough with the Palestinians. Stop trying to sell us that these people are fucking peaceful or normal, because they're not.
And we're talking about a terrorist. We're talking about, and again, not the IDF or anything like that. It's just Hamas is 1,000 times worse than Israel. Now, I happen to disagree with that. I mean, Hamas.
But you said it backwards.
Israel, yes, Israel is 1,000 times worse than Hamas.
That is very, very, very true, and actually very kind, very generous towards Israel, because they're 2,000 times worse than Hamas.
And I don't think that you have to pick one. I think we play. I think it's a dangerous game to it's a horrific game to legitimize Hamas and platform them as some kind of valiant freedom
Sometimes
fighter.
You have to pick one when there's a genocide happening and the Israeli side is killing the Palestinians. So who do you? Well, I'm just gonna. They're both bad, so I'm just gonna support no one and wait till this plays out. Yeah, what happens then, Ethan? You got to show support. You got to show support to the right side. You fucking coward, bitch.
It's because they're not. They're terrorists. They're fucking jihadist Islamists that want to fucking kill and displace all the Jews there.
Jihadist Islamists that want to kill and displace all the Jews. To him, it's about religion. It's a religious war. That's it. It's a religious war. These Islamists don't like the Jews. Fuck you. No one gives a fuck. I wish Israel was a Christian country. I wish it was a Christian country so that I could just say fuck Israel without being accused of being anti-Semitic. I wish it was a Muslim country because Lebanon is also, we have a lot of Muslims here. So if it was a Muslim country, it would have been like, oh, just fuck Israel for just being Israel. We hate Israel because they're invaders. Okay? We hate Israel because they're occupiers. Because they're Zionists. That's why we hate them. It has nothing to do with being Jewish. They could have been Buddhists for all I give a fuck. They could have been a whole army of atheists. Who gives a shit? They're invading our land, so we hate them. Okay, they invade our land. We hate them. That's the only explanation you need, motherfucker. Fucking idiot. You fucking dumbass. How do you still not fucking understand that? It has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with stealing land and killing people and genocide. You dumb fucking... Like, how thick is this man's fucking skull? They just refuse to understand. They have the brain capacity to understand. They just refuse to fucking understand it, because if they say it out loud, that's it. They can't revert. They can't go back to say, well, but Israel has the right to... You can't. They can't coexist.
People that we want in charge just as much as we don't want Ben Gvir and Netanyahu in charge of Israel. So obviously I can see...
Look, the whole population is rotten to the core at this point, Ethan. The problem has gone far beyond Netanyahu and Ben Gvir. It's only these two people. You get rid of these two, we're good. No, man. The whole society needs to wake the fuck up and needs to go to rehab or something.
People being uncomfortable with that statement, right? But my point is, take responsibility. This is a statement you said, you knew it was inflammatory, and that's your whole thing, right? You a provocateur, and when consequences happen for your provocations, you complain and act surprised. The other one was your interview with a fucking known terrorist platforming of Houthi Luffy, who's, by the way, still crowdfunding to sue me, by the way, for claiming he's a terrorist, which is I've defamed him. And he's actually fleeced, I don't know, like several thousands of dollars from people for his lawsuit against me. The Houthi Luffy, which, by the way, if you've donated to...
He's talking about Rashid al-Haddad?
Houthi Luffy's GoFundMe to sue me. I believe you might have violated American sanctions and committed a crime.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I think you might have.
Wouldn't it be on GoFundMe?
Maybe.
So like, because they're collecting the funds, and then they would be the one like wire.
9/11, right? Which, I mean, to be fair, Hasan has explained that clip many times, and it's ancient history by now. But
and yeah, again, he keeps calling him a Houthi. He wasn't a Houthi. He went viral as Tim Houthi Chalamet, but he's not a Houthi. He's just a young fucking kid in Yemen who's lived his whole life under war and under bombardment from the fucking US, the UK, Israel. Like, Yemen is the poorest country on earth. And they were the first to defend Gaza and Palestine. Just goes to show you that money does not buy honor and dignity and a conscience. Nope.
As a provocateur, these are the...
And look, do I think Rashid al-Haddad is actually trying to raise money to sue Ethan Klein? No, I don't think that. I think he's taking advantage of the situation to try and raise a little bit of money so he can survive in fucking Yemen. I don't think there's ever a lawsuit coming towards Ethan. And I don't think that, honestly, Rashid al-Haddad and Yemenis have been the victims of American imperialism and Israeli imperialism for decades. So if Rashid al-Haddad wants to raise a few bucks on the back of Ethan Klein, fucking go for it, man. Go for it. Ethan is out there suing people left and right for no fucking reason. Do I think Rashid al-Haddad actually has any intention of suing Ethan Klein? I think he's a young kid in Yemen who's smart. He's seeing Ethan suing all these other people. You know, he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna sue him. But like, he's not gonna sue Ethan Klein. It's gonna cost tens of thousands of dollars. But hey, and I think most people donating to Rashid al-Haddad know he's not gonna sue Ethan. They're just trying to help him out because he's a desperate young man in Yemen whose life has been ruined, just like every other Yemeni. All right.
Reasons, and this comes on the heels of anti-Semitism is on like an enormous spike in London and UK in general. And in 2016 alone, it's just been an enormous spike. And so another thing that I think is not fair for Hasan to fully blame this on just say, oh, this is an Israel psyop.
Chat is going right in to Dan today. Everybody fucking hates Dan. Dan has been so disappointing. Dan's never going to see any of this, but like, we used to love Dan, man. Dan used to be the man. And how many times did we say it would have been great if like Dan and Ian and like Cam would have hosted their own political podcast, the little side conversations they had during leftovers when Ethan would go pee or they would go on break or anything like that. Dan was cool, man. Dan used to stand by what was cool and what was right. Now he's just a piece of shit. He's just Ethan Klein's enforcer and yes man and little bitch boy. They're all Ethan's little errand bitch boys. It's so sad.
Is that the same people, the same department they banned 12 people from attending a Tommy Robinson event.
Politics asked what happened to Love. I think Love is here. He's just being very quiet now.
And these people are anti-Muslim racists. So the same department that banned him and Cenk, although Cenk, again, for sheep, unrelated, were also banned for people who were coming in to do anti-Islamic bigotry and racism and provocateur. So what they're doing is trying to curb extremism on both sides of the aisle. And a lot of people have likened Hasan to extremism on the right. Excuse me. And you can see it in no better place. Hasan's former or coworker and current still friend, Anna Kasparian, who recently went on fucking Candace Owens' show to circle jerk.
Of course, Ethan wants to paint anyone who's ever associated with Hasan or anyone on TYT as an anti-Semite. So now Cenk is an anti-Semite, Anna's an anti-Semite, Hasan is an anti-Semite.
About Israel. And, you know, horseshoe theory in action, right? So, yes, I would consider Anna Kasparian and now Candace Owens extremists on the left and the right. And they've been fairly consistent in trying to stop both. In fact, they've banned more anti-Muslim extremists by the same token than they have to do with what they perceived as anti-Semitic ones. This happened in April of this year, so right off the heel, or right before yours. Home Office blocks anti-Islam influencers from entering the UK. So this was right before you got banned. I'm talking directly to him. And they gave the same reason. Secretary Shabana Hammoud decided that...
friend, but when did he say friend? When did he say friend?
Were also banned for people who were coming in to do anti-Islamic bigotry and racism and provocateur. So what they're doing is trying to curb extremism on both sides of the aisle. And a lot of people have likened Hasan to extremism on the right. Excuse me. And you can see it in no better place. Hasan's former or coworker and current still friend, Anna Kasparian.
Oh, friend. He's talking about Anna? My guy, you are very behind. He thinks Anna and Hasan are still friends? My guy. Anna fucking hates Hasan. Maybe not as much as you hate Hasan. But Anna went, like we talked about. Come on, dude. Yeah, he has no idea. He would love, if he knew that Anna hated Hasan, he would love Anna.
Who recently went on fucking Candace Owens' show to circle jerk about Israel. And, you know, horseshoe theory in action, right? So, yes, I would consider Anna Kasparian and now Candace Owens extremists on the left and the right. And they've been fairly consistent in trying to stop both. In fact, they've banned more anti-Muslim extremists by the same token than they have to do with what they perceived as anti-Semitic ones. This happened in April of this year, so right off the heel, or right before yours. Home Office blocks anti-Islam influencers from entering the UK. So this was right before you got banned. I'm talking directly to him. And they gave the same reason. Secretary Shabana Hammoud decided that Gomez, that's one of the people that was banned, would not, quote, not be conducive to the public good. It's exactly what she said about Hasan's visit. Now, also interesting to note is that the Home Secretary Shabana Hammoud is actually an extremely pro-Palestine advocate. She is a Pakistani...
I hate commenting on his Tourette's, but he can barely get through a sentence when he's talking about Hasan, man. When he talks about Israel, Palestine, he can barely get through a sentence without the coughing, without the tics really acting up. And especially when I feel like when he knows he's lying or when he knows he's just saying something because he hates Hasan. Like Ethan was... Like right now, Ethan is agreeing with a foreign government's decision to ban someone's visa because they criticized Israel. Now Ethan has to somehow convince his leftist audience that this is a good thing. Forget what it means to everyone else. Forget what it means to people like him or to supporters of his that want to criticize any other country. Because it's Hasan and because it's Israel, this is now a good thing. Because Hasan got banned and because he got his visa revoked, now Ethan has to throw out all of his leftist credentials out the window and become a right-winger for the next 30 minutes as he tries to fucking justify this to his insane fucking bloodthirsty audience. Far Twain with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Far Twain, for the generous support. Says, Dan is just Brian from Family Guy. He pretends to be the smart, well-read, noble, liberal guy, but he's just really a selfish idiot. That's actually a very good comparison. Holy shit. I've never thought of that. He is literally Brian. Again, I haven't watched Family Guy in so long. That is such an apt comparison.
She is a British political... and
Pakistani descent.
Yeah, Pakistani descendant.
Yeah, like find me one other leftist podcast that agrees that Hasan should be banned. I mean, unless it's fucking Destiny or Hutch or a girl with a microphone.
Yeah. And she's a very avowed pro-Palestinian advocate. So,
okay, I'm sorry. How can your hatred for one person affect, like, for example, if Ethan got banned from traveling to the UK, I'd be like, hey, you know, fuck Ethan Klein, but like, that's ridiculous. I hate Ethan Klein. I think Ethan is a piece of shit Zionist, but like, hey, no one should be banned from traveling to a... I mean, if it was Ethan, it would be funny, but like, still, I would be like, it's funny and shit, but like, it's fucked up. Like, no one should be banned from traveling to another country for criticizing another country. Like, it's not like Hasan even criticized the UK or said something offensive about the UK. He criticized Israel, so he's not allowed to go to the UK because he criticized Israel, and somehow Ethan has convinced himself that that's okay, and now he's trying to convince his fucking audience that that's okay. God, and if they buy this, if they fall for this, they would be so fucking stupid, dude.
Again, you painting it in this kind of black and white picture is, I think, not fair to this woman, right? And also, really not fair, especially because she's banning extremism on both sides of the aisle, and it's a real sidestepping of accountability, which is kind of his.
She's banning extremism on both sides of the aisle. Okay, very nice. So it's a two sides thing, you know?
You know,
you can't defend Palestine too passionately. You can't be too anti-genocide. You have to be anti-genocide and pro-Palestinian while still respecting the feelings of Israel and Israelis, the people committing the genocide, and the people that overwhelmingly vote in polls that they support that military action. These are the people whose feelings you really have to keep in mind and consideration. Bro, fuck Europe, fuck the West, Amjad.
His MO, right? I mean, blame yourself for saying fucking insane, for interviewing, platforming, whitewashing a fucking terrorist, right? Blame yourself for saying America deserved 9/11, even though it was so long ago. Clearly, if you would have changed your rhetoric, toned it down, stopped making death, like, it's not been that long when you've been threatening.
Blame yourself. Very cool, Ethan. Blame yourself for what you said. All right, very nice. I love great takes from the liberal H3 podcast.
Encouraging violence, you know, against American politicians. Right? It's happening.
When 200,000 views in 21 hours.
Those two people got murdered outside of the, it was like in D.C., those two Israeli couple got murdered outside of some kind of museum where a gathering was happening by an obviously anti-Semitic attack. He said it seemed like a psyop. You know, and even recently, moving on, this one really pissed me off, right? So there's this Jewish NBA player, Chet Holmgren, right? Now, this is a Jewish player. He has never made a single statement about Israel. The only thing that's known about this man is that he is a Jewish American in the NBA. And Hasan starts calling him Netenyahu. Now, I mean...
Netenyahu. No, I just realized that it's the way that Chet Hanks would. Netenyahu.
Go suck your mama.
Suck at Netanyahu, bye.
Spit upon your granny grave.
Now, why would you call a Jewish American someone who you've gone out of your way to make great detail to say, I am not anti-Semitic, I am only anti-Israel? Why would you call a Jewish American NBA player who's no ties to Israel, has never commented on Israel, Netanyahu? Why would you connect him to a war criminal, Israeli war criminal?
Okay, I don't know about that. I've never even heard of this player. So this guy's never said anything about Israel? Nothing? What's his name? What's this player's name?
We've got nothing to do with Israel. And this is your way to connect him to a war criminal, Israeli war criminal. We've got nothing to do with Israel. It's so fucking disgusting. And he's making these statements publicly. Of course, is going to be picked up by his audience. So now this guy who has nothing to do with Israel is now being called Netanyahu. Why? Why? How is that not racist?
What's the guy called? Chaim Galbut? Is that the guy he's talking about? Chaim Galbut? Chaim Galbut, Israel support. Okay, is this the player? Is it Chaim Galbut? Oh, Chet. Okay, Chet Holmgren. Sorry, let me check. Chet Holmgren. Oh no. One sec. What happened? Hey, everyone lost my live chat for a second. Let me... Chet Holmgren has not publicly made political statements regarding Israel or the war in Gaza. However, his Jewish heritage and practice sessions in gyms with Israeli flags have drawn intense and sometimes hostile online attention. So he does practice sessions in gyms with Israeli flags, and you're telling me he hasn't made pro-Israeli, hasn't shown pro-Israeli sentiment? Holmgren has been inadvertently drawn into geopolitical discourse due to a workout video. The video, a clip circulated showing Holmgren practicing at Shalhavet High School in Los Angeles, an Orthodox Jewish high school frequently used by NBA players for its secure facilities. The criticism, because Israeli flags were visible in the background of the gym, Holmgren faced a wave of online trolling and backlash from critics, with some even mockingly labeling him Netenyahu on social media. The response: Holmgren has never directly addressed the flags or the controversy, choosing to keep his personal and political views private. Okay, let me tell you just what I assume. If you're a public-facing Jewish individual, you're a public figure, in this case a big NBA star, and if you're on a video that has a bunch of Israeli flags in the back, and you refuse to make a comment, and knowing that he's a Orthodox Jewish, people are going to assume that you're a Zionist. Because if you stood by, why would you be afraid of sharing your opinion unless you were afraid that it was going to upset the Jewish community? So in my opinion, this guy probably or thought it's going to cause you some kind of controversy. So this guy probably supports Israel. If he's like, dude, if I go to a basketball court and there's a bunch of Israeli flags in the back, I'm not fucking training there during a genocide. If you're okay with that, then there's a chance that he might support Israel, and he just doesn't want to say it because he doesn't want to deal with whatever bullshit that's going to come with that. You know what I mean? People like Ethan have no problem saying they're pro-Israel.
Please explain to me how that's not racist, right? Then equal measure.
We have the explanation, right?
Well, yeah. So it all started from, apparently he was caught practicing in a gym, caught red-handed, guys. Where is it? Just heartbreak. That's not it. Where's the picture?
There you go.
Sucked into a culture war over a workout video. He was practicing at a gym, which is apparently a very popular practice destination for a lot of NBA players, right? So this is where it all started. This is all it takes, okay? For this guy to be Netenyahu, okay? Busted. Hebrew on the background of a gym he's practicing at. And it says Am Israel Chai, which is, what does that mean, Hila?
Hi.
Oh, Israel's
it translates to the people of Israel are alive.
Yeah. So,
and is like,
Am Israel Chai, by the way, is what every psychotic fucking Zionist says to justify the existence of a Jewish ethno-state. So Am Israel Chai, to me, is like literally a terrorist sign-off. Anytime a Jewish person or an Israeli person ends by saying Am Israel Chai, I'm like, oh, you're fucking insane. Oh, you're fucking nuts. Oh, you're genocidal. That's literally what it means.
The people.
So, this 2-second
It is literally the slogan for Israelis.
I've been practicing in a gym that's frequented by a lot of NBA players for practice, is now the whole entire basis for...
Here's a blurb that explains it right here.
In this article or something?
No, in the doc.
Oh, thank you. It's called, this place he was caught red-handed practicing at, quote, the lab, where Holmgren was working at, is a Jewish school in Los Angeles whose gym has become popular among NBA players for various reasons that have nothing to do with Israel. Privacy, location mainly. Shalhavet High School, which is Orthodox, has hosted many athletes with greater wattage than Holmgren. Among them, the LA Clippers' John Harden, Philadelphia 76ers' Joel Embiid, LeBron James.
Jesus Christ. Mikey just like banged himself on the door. Shizless asks, you Hezbollah by these standards? What does that mean? Is that English?
Even LeBron James has been spotted practicing a couple miles away at the Shalhevet Orthodox rival Hila. So anyway, it's a private and
it's over on the west side,
yeah,
like near the Grove. It's in a ritzy, nice part of LA. So I guess apparently a lot of NBA players play there.
You Jews are all right.
So they caught him with a little Hebrew in the back there, guys. And now it's open season for Hasan, the avowed anti-racist, right? Remember, guys, it's anti-Zionism, not anti-Semitism.
I think he also doesn't like the other famous Israeli basketball player.
But that guy's Israeli, which, by the way,
yeah, but he's
is also mega fucked up.
Non-political. He's just Israeli.
He didn't even serve in the IDF. He had some kind of athletic.
He's very pro-Israel, though. I looked it up. The guy they're talking about is like a pro-Israeli dude and has shown a lot of support for Israel. So that is kind of fucked up. Ethan, this is not the old world anymore. People don't like Israelis because they're committing a fucking genocide, and they keep justifying the genocide, and they're committing an ethnic cleansing in Lebanon. Don't be so shocked. It's so fucked. You don't like him because he's Israeli. Israeli at this point is associated with genocide and supporting a genocide and defending a genocide and shitting on Palestinians. That is what it means. People hear Israel, they think genocide. One second. Maki wants to say hello. We'll start with Nata. Oopsie, say hello. Did you guys hear her? Did you guys hear my little Natupsu? Natsibeya, Havavitsivabo Sichu, and now ye, and now ma, Natsibeya, Vavavitsivabo. Oh, Chris, Maki ran away. Little Natupsi. Did you guys hear her little meow? It might be too low. I don't think you could have heard it. On the day we arrived on the planet, blinking, stepped into the sun. It's more to see than can ever be seen. More to do than can ever be done. There's far too much to take in me. More to find than can ever be found. With the sun rolling high through the sapphire sky, beasts great and small, on the endless night, it's the circle of life, and it moves us so through this. Mithy Eve says, sing it as Hila. Through this faith and hope, through faith and hope, till we found our place, for the path unwinding, it's the circle of life. God damn. Mithy Eve with the 5 gifted Do Not Worry memberships. Let's go. Thank you, Mithy Eve. We got 7 new members today. Holy shit. Thank you so much. Did you guys like that? Was the Hila singing? I'm going to get fucking copyrighted for this, aren't I? Isn't that what they do? Can I technically get copyrighted for this? On the day we arrived on the planet. Moving. MKMT says that was moving. I'm glad it was moving.
Redemption. So the guy, there's this other Israeli, well, no, not other. This guy's an American Jew. He has nothing to do with Israel. But there's an Israeli Jewish player who never even served in the IDF, who's the absolute fucking torment and harassment he gets from Hasan and people in general is just fucking vile. But this guy,
Polish Fisher says, this is the man I get my Lebanon news from. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, this doesn't give me any credibility. McG says, sorry, Anthony's neighbors. Chris says, have you seen the meme where a comedian makes a joke that the comedian jokingly translated the song's opening Zulu chant? Look, there's a line, oh my God, he got sued because he translated it? Dizzle McFizzle with a $5 dono and some advice. Thank you so much, Dizzle McFizzle, for the money and the advice. Says, take larger breaths and tighten your core. It'll help you hold your notes better. Okay. My back hurts, like taking a deep breath hurts. Circle of life. Okay. Thank you so much, Dizzle, for the generous support. And I will keep that in mind. Next time I do a Hila Disney song, I got you.
They at least have some pretense of it being, they go, oh, this is anti-Zionist. He's at least Israeli, right? Right. But this guy's an American Jew. These are the people that Hassan is supposed to be advocating for. This guy's never even said a fucking single thing about Israel. But Hassan calls him Netenyahu. That's fucked up. It actually is really upsetting. And I feel like it's just so obviously racist and fucked up. Here, this guy fucks sheep, so we don't need to talk about it.
Really upsetting. Ethan is very upset about all of this. And this is why Hassan is getting banned from the UK, because he called someone Netenyahu on an Instagram story. That's what happened, Ethan? Really now? That's why Hassan should be, like, again, Ethan could easily criticize Hassan. Ethan could be like, he could still point all of this out. He could be like, Hassan said this. Hassan even did that. And he called this guy Netenyahu. And he called this guy an inbred pig dog. But I still don't agree with the Israeli government putting pressure on the UK government to ban someone for their freedom of speech and freedom of expression and for expressing discontent with a country that he does, whatever. He could have still said all of that and been like, but I disagree with it. There's still a way, and I'm just being charitable, but there's still a way to criticize while still being like, yeah, this is fucked up, and I don't like where this is going, where this is headed, and the precedent that this sets. No, he's more than happy to be like, well, you fucked around, and now you're finding out, Hassan Piker, just because it's convenient for Ethan. An enemy of Hassan is now a friend of Ethan's. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Ethan has taken that to heart, and he's now aligning himself with the most fucked up individuals on the left in politics, in political commentary, YouTube.
Yeah. Or at least he wants to. I don't know if he has. But he said basically enough that has the government concerned.
You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, I don't know what Elon's last thing. Play it. Go ahead, Zach.
I believe that I am going. If I were the benevolent dictator of the world, I would legalize bestiality where you are giving, you are pleasuring the animal.
Now, if I'm the head of agriculture and livestock of UK,
like this is edited. Like this, and they're just literally playing someone's voice saying that they want to legalize bestiality.
I'm be like, why take the risk?
You see what I'm saying?
Why take the risk, man?
You see what I'm saying?
How many sheep are in the UK? I'm telling you, they're big.
Maki's trying to come back in, but every time I open the door, he runs towards the kitchen because he thinks I'm going to feed him. 1 second. Maki, come here. Come here. Come here. Maki, here. I'm going to wait till I finish. Just bolted. Maki, come. You're not happy to be here? You want to be in the kitchen eating? That's what you'd rather be doing, huh? All right. Let's go. Mike, you just wanted to say a quick hello. Let's go. Let's go, my poop. Let's go, my poop. Go. I'll come back. Give me 20 minutes. He just had to say hi.
You know, like, it's open season for Cenk Uyghur out there, potentially. 30 million sheep are at risk, man. 30 million. Hey,
Zach, I missed your sound bites.
Good to have you back, Hila.
You know. But as far as I know, Hassan doesn't want to fuck sheep. He just wants to electrocute them. That's a joke about his dog. He doesn't want to electrocute sheep, as far as I know, either. But they actually gave out a statement. They said the decision on entry to the UK are a matter for the Home Office and the
so it is an old bit. Okay. Kidsy Cat says it's an old bit that Cenk did on TYT. I'm sure it's a bit. It just kind of sounded like edited together. But if Cenk said it, I'm sure he had a great reason to say it.
Jules' concern, South by Southwest London's role is to convene a broad range of diverse voices and perspectives, remain focused on delivering a yeah, I mean, obviously it's not their fault. It's just, they had nothing to do with it. It was just the government. And they stated the specific reasons. They didn't say because Cenk wants, or they did. Can I say they said Cenk? I don't remember what they said, but I think it was Cenk wants to fuck sheep.
Where did you see that reporting again?
You see what I'm saying?
Maybe I misremembered, but I just recall him saying this.
I'm starting to question this narrative a little bit.
I think they were talking about Hasan.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Well, those are things Hasan said, the three I listed.
Miles Murphy Cork makes a very apt comment, says, ew, so many horrible people in the H3 crew. MMC, absolutely. By the way, everybody, shout out to Miles Murphy Cork once again for this beautiful intro music. I'm gonna little change of pace, but we need a little break, right? How fun is that? I feel like moving around and shaking my booty every time I hear that track. Miles Murphy Cork, thank you for sending us that beautiful surprise music to Tino's Playroom. Don't forget to subscribe to Tino's Playroom, folks. Link is pinned on top and at the bottom of the live chat. We build Lego sets over there. I might, if I have time, I might try to squeeze in a quick video reacting to those new Lego Pokemon sets. I'll do them as a pre-recorded video and just stick them on YouTube. New Lego Pokemon sets? Let's go. I want to give my reaction as a Pokemon fan.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, and they did too. They were listening, unfortunately. Okay. First thing, I guess did I invent the first thing? I guess I did. But yeah, this is also not in a vacuum, right? There's like a huge spike in anti-Semitic violence in London. So people are very sensitive to it. In March and April, approximately 10 attacks were conducted that targeted Jewish community members in London. That's 10 violent hate crimes in London.
Yeah, what does that have to do with Hasan Piker? I'm curious, Ethan. Why are you bringing up random hate crimes in London? How many hate crimes were there in Los Angeles? How many hate crimes are there in every city in the States? Is every hate crime against a Jewish individual now automatically blamed on Hasan Piker? Is that what we're doing here? I don't understand. He's just happy that his enemy got his visa revoked. And instead of even showing a little bit of concern for what this means to the overall political landscape, freedom of speech, censorship, etc., he doesn't give a shit. Hasan bad. Hasan got banned from UK. Ethan happy. Ethan good.
The attacks involved arson, explosive devices, chemicals, targeting of Jewish schools, synagogues, charities. Responsibility for many of these attacks were claimed by a group called Harakat Ashab.
Don't even try.
Yeah. It's a group believed to be the front group for Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The IRGC allegedly outsourced the acts to local criminals to maintain plausible deniability.
Numfo says, Ethan knows nothing about the UK. T-Talk with Shaw says, this is after a mosque was just attacked in San Diego. Good point. And Kidsy Cat says, and there's so much Islamophobia in the UK right now. I know, in all of Europe. Europeans hate Muslims. Let's make that clear.
I don't know why they're just not, I don't know, they should just own it. Or I guess maybe to make politics a little harder for them. They're like, yeah, we did that shit. Counter-terrorist police are investigating.
Harder, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense for them to do that. So yeah, it comes on the heels of that. And again, much more people have been banned by the same government for being racist against Islam or Arabs. Doing some, I don't know what these
it's Islamophobic.
Islamophobic, where they do like Quran burning and shit like that. And like, that certainly isn't conductive to the public good, either.
Did he acknowledge Islamophobia existing?
Yeah, I guess it makes sense for them to do that. So yeah, it comes on the heels of that. And again, much more people have been banned by the same government for being racist against Islam or Arabs. Doing some
racist against Islam or Arabs. This is a motherfucker that lived in the Middle East for a while. He doesn't even know any terms.
I don't know what these
it's Islamophobic.
Islamophobic, where they do like Quran burning and shit like that. And like that certainly isn't conductive to the public good, either. Although different than what he's being accused of, but
Akeshi's fave pancake sends a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Akeshi. That's so sweet. Says, haven't been here in months, but here's for cat toys for kitties. Hope you're all well, crew and viewers. Akeshi, that's so sweet. Natamaki, you're getting toys from Akeshi. Say thank you. The cats say thank you, Akeshi. That's very kind. We've missed you. If you haven't been here, no pressure to be here. Everybody can take breaks. Everybody can go away. You don't watch. There's some creators that I used to watch all the time that I stopped watching. There's a few that I've been watching for many years. I can be weirdly loyal like that. But it's nice to see you back here. It's nice to have you back. Welcome back to the community. Hope you stick around a little bit. And thank you so much for the sweet dono.
Two sides of the same coin. And I really do think Hasan is breeding some pretty nasty extremism, right? So
You can see it in his chat when he needs to turn it on emote mode. When a shooting just happened, then they're a little too excited.
Oh yeah, don't you? You should see how quick Hasan puts his chat in emote mode only. Although the one time he didn't put his chat in emote only was when we were talking about it, but that's okay.
Which we will react to, by the way. As you guys remember, about 2 weeks ago at this point, I rewatched the final episode of Leftovers with Ethan and Hasan, which I thought was a very interesting way to kind of like revisit this whole drama, see how it started, compare Ethan then and now. This week, we are doing part 2. This week, I'm going to do like a fucking 6-hour stream reacting to the final like Zoom call where Ethan called into Hasan's stream and they had a talk. And that's where it really broke down. Ethan turned against the chat turned against Ethan. Hasan was trying to keep it all together. This week, we're going to react to the whole thing and finish the revisiting the old sagas. And then one day, I might try to revisit some frenemies. I've been wanting to do that for like a year and a half. But, you know, I felt like there was too much Ethan content. But this week, we're finishing the going back to the start of where this all started. And we gonna watch it. Chris said, don't listen to Anthony. Never take a break from DNW. Never. Well, I appreciate that. Don't. If you can not take a break, I would appreciate that. You know what I mean? We need everyone's support. No pressure, though.
Ancient history.
Can you give me a Capri Sun, please?
Capri Sun? What are you, a child?
Where did that come from?
Yeah, what the hell?
I just needed something random.
I need a Capri Sun.
It's kind of, you know, a little something random.
You know what? I went to a kids party with my boys this weekend. They had Capri Suns there, and I'll tell you, they still have not fixed. It's still
not enough liquid in there.
Yeah, big problems. Will never complain about.
AB's still here. Look at that.
Fuck Capri Suns again.
They're bad.
They're in a triangle. When you come up.
Capri Suns.
I mean, it loads up.
Snooze you, and for them to like drinking it, overwhelm. First, the sun.
Okay, there's a lot to skip, which is good.
It is extraordinary. Honest company.
Yo.
Coca.
This guy knows his random to do.
Starting a business, find yourself a rich Jew.
Mithy says Trisha was the only reason that worked. Chris is asking crew this week. I believe so. I'm going to try to get the crew here on Thursday. I have so much to do, man. I'm really busy. But yeah, we'll try to get the crew in here on Thursday. And yeah, we need to get them to finish the milking farm, Morning Glory milking farm.
Business partner. That's just obvious.
And Iron says AB looks like a totally different person. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, he looks very puffy.
They don't have to be Jewish.
He looks very puffy. I think he's definitely had, I mean, like, you know, he's got some work done. It's no secret. He's even talked about it himself. Where is he at? Oh, fuck. Fuck it.
Is founder of the.
It sounds like one of those
not some
know about cameras.
Yeah. It sounds like her job was to.
Because I always thought that was hers.
I think it.
What the hell?
It says chief creative officer. To people are like, oh wow, Jessica Alba.
What the fuck does Jessica Alba know about fruit juice?
Yeah.
Sriracha brothers.
Grape ticklers out there.
The grape ticklers, the Sriracha Inc.
So anyway, yeah, and the other thing is, it's probably putting a lot of undue blame on this.
Oh, there we go. Okay, she says, great to be back. Tariffs killed my job, but got a new job after months. So I'll be back now to donate to Kitty Funds. Well, I mean, we're glad you got a job and you can take care of yourself. Donating to the Kitty Fund comes after many other. It's not. I was gonna say second. It comes, you know, last. You know, take care of yourself. Congrats on the new fucking gig. Sorry to hear you lost your job. It's tough out there. Again, I lost my job. It's been almost a year ago now. I think July 1st is when I officially became a full-time streamer. So I've been unemployed for a year. I've been, you know, you guys have made me so lucky to help me survive this year as I try to stream for a living. But it's fucking tough out there. It's good to hear you found a job. Let's fucking go. And you don't need to have a job to watch the show. You don't need to donate anything to watch the show. Most people enjoy the show without ever donating anything. And we love that. So, you know, just enjoy the show. Just be here and, you know, be cool.
Woman who's really a, again, of Pakistani descent, seems by all standards a really cool lady, Shabana Mahmood.
Mahmoud. Like, again, you lived in Israel and he supposedly interacted with Palestinians. Like, you don't know how to say Mahmoud. You never learn how to say Mahmoud. Okay, say Mahmoud. Say Mahmoud. Mahmoud. Islamists.
Palestine. On her website, she's a passionate supporter of Palestinian rights. 2014, she took part in a demonstration outside the branch of Sainsbury. She said, we lay down in the streets and lay down inside Sainsbury. Say we object to them stocking goods from illegal settlements and that they must stop. We managed to close down that store at peak time and Saturday. This is how we make a difference. I mean, et cetera, et cetera. There's lots about it. But here's the problem. Following October 7th, Mahmoud stated, I unequivocally condemned the despicable acts of Hamas who targeted innocent Israeli civilians. The hostages must be returned. These atrocities were committed by terrorists who do not seek peace and have set back the just cause of Palestinian freedom and statehood, which I have supported my whole life. So there you go. Enemy of the people. So I don't know. In my opinion, it's a very much reaping what you sow moment. I mean, obviously, I know he's going to spin it like a dub. Well, and obviously he should, right? I mean, it's his job to spin whatever he can into a political win. So obviously he's going to make what he can out of it.
But I agree with it. I think he should have been banned. Good job on the Israeli and UK government for revoking his visa. I agree with it. Of course he's going to make a big deal out of it. I mean, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Jesus Christ, man, you're still complaining about the content cop. IDubbbz released the content cop while I was live, my best friend. You think he's not going to complain about getting banned from a fucking country because of a foreign government? You sit there and complain about the dumbest shit all day?
But he's an extremist. He does extremist things. He says extremist things, and he's being treated like an extremist.
And it's only fair, and I agree with it. Great, Ethan. Nice.
Part about this, too, is that he got reached out to, or not. Yeah, reached. Here, look. So I don't know if you guys know this NBA player. His name is Kyrie Irving.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, this just happened May 30th, so yesterday. NBA star Kyrie Irving reveals he would like to stream with Hassan Piker. Cool, right? I would love to sit down with Hassan. I would love to sit down with a lot of our generation's leaders. I mean, that's cringe, but okay, whatever. So what is Kyrie, I mean, other than basketball, what is Kyrie Irving known for?
Let's watch what Kyrie Irving had to say on his recent social media post. It's just like he thinks he's so right, and he is so fucking full of shit. They're asking him why he fucking posted an anti-Semitic documentary, and he's like, instead of being like, oh, I didn't know it was like that, he's like, no, it's just unspoken truths about our history.
But I'm promoting it?
Bro, you are such a pussy, dude. This is such bitch-made shit. Nobody wants to take accountability. It's so funny. It's like, bro, you loved it when you were posting it. You loved it just now when you were defending it. But now all of a sudden when people
so here you're saying that Hassan is being inconsistent because Hassan criticized Kyrie Irving for sharing that documentary, and now Hassan is more than willing to have him on as a guest?
Why are you promoting this shit? He's like, I'm not promoting it.
Do you see me in front of the...
This is awesome. I love dumb guy debates.
Now I'm 30 years old, and I know reading is a superpower because it helps me understand where I'm going and where I come from.
That's a mega racist take, man. What the fuck?
Wait, what? Reading is racist? Okay, I don't know about the context, but that was pre-October 7th. Hassan had a lot of smoke. This is all from 22. A ton of smoke for that.
I'm not a big basketball guy, but the main thing I remember about him was he kept getting in trouble because he was super anti-vax. He wouldn't get the COVID vaccine, and in that,
they go hand in hand, eh?
In that lockout season or whatever, I think he kept getting suspended because he wouldn't comply with policies or whatever. Also, the chat is saying this. I don't know anything about this, but apparently he's a flat earther.
Reading is power, my friend.
So anti-vax, flat earther. Listen, I mean, Hassan could change his mind, man. That's what Hassan does. If Kyrie Irving could be a loud voice that is anti-Zionist, and maybe he just has a misunderstanding. Maybe he's, because of the actions of Israel, Ethan. Listen, check this out, Ethan. Did you know that every time you get on your podcast and you start saying that at least 80% of all Jewish people that I know have some kind of positive feeling towards Israel, so they're technically Zionists. You know, every time you say that, and every time Netanyahu says that, Israel is a Jewish state and everything we do is for the security of Jews in Israel and around the world, all of that conflates Zionism and Judaism. When you conflate criticism of Israel with anti-Semitism constantly, you are creating that conflation. So why are you shocked when someone associates Judaism and Zionism? When someone goes like, I think, the Jews are the core of the problem. But that's what you're causing every time, and every rocket, every Arab person that Netanyahu kills increases anti-Semitism around the world. You know why? Because people are associating these actions with Judaism now. There's a massive Star of David in the middle of the Israeli flag, which they spray paint and they engrave in homes that they steal. They literally cut them into the skin of their Palestinian prisoners, a Star of David, cut with a knife on their skin, scarring them for life. They'll use tanks to draw giant Stars of David in the middle of town squares that they've occupied and taken over, and they'll film drone footage of a massive Star of David in the middle. What message do you think that sends people? You dumb motherfucker, Yeah, Far Twain says, no, Anthony, you're wrong. I'm sure Hasan will bring him on and say you're right about flat Earth. Yeah, Hasan's going to bring him on, create a dialogue, try to correct him, and try to teach him some things, something that you are completely incapable of doing.
So, I don't know if that's...
Kendrick referenced him in a song.
Interesting.
What do you say about him?
He said, I caught COVID and I started to question Kyrie.
That's funny.
There you go. Hold on, this shit's real?
Yeah, but I think the other big thing that Hasan 2022 Hasan was referring to is that he was promoting a like a Black Hebrew Israelite documentary, and I don't know how much you guys know about that whole thing, but it's
A little bit.
pretty wild.
I mean, he's a very like Kanye coded Jew hater.
Yeah,
he just is. I mean, you can. I mean, listen, I don't need to say anything. Just listen to what Hasan said about him, right? But now all of a sudden, 2020.
But he's talking about something else. This is out of context. He's talking about, I think, the Black Israelite videos here.
6. Hey, my God, Kyrie Irving, it'd be an honor.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe he's changed in the last 4 years.
Listen, people grow.
He'd be honored to sit down with him. And I'm sure he's going to bring this stuff up, right? He's going to bring this up if that does happen. That'll be...
No.
Hasan's going to take the opportunity to educate Kyrie about his obviously anti-Semitic statements, right? Look forward to that happening.
Absolutely, dude.
But the point is, when it's American Jewish NBA...
Hope you tune into that, Ethan. By the way, I love seeing all of like the green names in the chat. Thank you to everybody who's a member of the channel, genuinely. Whether you've been gifted, whether you're out there, you know, paying for your own membership, we love and appreciate you guys. It makes my heart sing when I see so much green in chat. Very, very kind of you all, genuinely.
Player with zero ties to Israel. He's Netenyahu. When Kyrie, who's an open anti-Semite, it'd be an extreme honor, sir. I would be honored and delighted beyond my ability to...
Polish, thank you so much for being here. Have a good night. Rest easy. We very much appreciate you being here and being such a big part of this community. Have a good night, Polish.
Communicate.
You got me.
To collab with him. So that's basically what I've got on that. Although I have Netanyahu origin. I think, did we look at this?
No.
No, Dan's...
Let's see.
Mithy Eve says, yeah, having celebrities and athletes on your podcast is a good thing. Even if they don't agree with you, it gets more people watching. I mean, Hasan is going to find a way to spin it positively, I'm sure, and to use it to create some positivity. Haley D with the 5 gifted Do Not Worry memberships, slamming us at the end of the stream. And Nina says, miss you, Jim, right underneath. This is all gifted memberships are very Jim coded, even though Haley's no stranger to gifting. Half of our memberships are also due to Haley. Haley, thank you so much. That is very kind. Congrats to Get Down LAU, Miguel M. Laker, Constantina Vasiladu, Barbara 1966, Cerberus 0. Congratulations on becoming members. Thank you so much, Haley. That is very kind and generous. Thank you so much. We got 12 new members today, folks. 12 new members. Let's go. Love you guys. We're gonna have a fun time this month, this week with members content.
I saw this one day in the comments calling him Chick.
So this is from
August 20th. We're at 420 members actually. Lucky number.
25 post October 7 world, where it's monetizable to just be like. This is open anti-Semitism, in my opinion. He's definitely trying to ride the line. But this is, I think, pretty...
It's monetizable to be anti-Semitic. That's what... By the way, Ethan loves talking about, like, he says that Noah Samson is doing a Palestine grift. And, like, what does that even mean? He's doing an anti-genocide grift. Well, he just saw that, you know, saying that genocide is bad makes money. So he wants to, like, yeah, genocide is bad, Ethan. And if you point it out and if people give you props for pointing out that genocide is bad, don't be jealous. He's just upset that people aren't giving him any props.
Easily over it, but nobody gives him on
comments calling him Chick.
So this is from August 2025, post October 7 world, where it's monetizable to just be like
monetizable. Is that what I'm doing? You know, you're out there monetizing Israel's war on your country. Oh, I'm sorry, me talking about how Israel is ethnically cleansing my country, murdering my people. Am I out here am I grifting on Israel and Lebanon's war? Am I grifting on Israel's ethnic cleansing of my own lands and my own country? I'm sorry, dude. We're trying to raise fucking awareness, dude. As the mainstream media and the rest of the international community, all the superpowers in the world side with the genociding fucking country, Ethan Klein. A few people online decided to speak up, and he has chosen to make these online leftists who are criticizing a whole ass fucking country committing a genocide The real problem is a couple of fucking streamers online. That's what Ethan's mind is. The streamers are the problem. At least I recognize what the problem is. Israel is the problem. And idiot streamers like Ethan who normalize and whitewash their actions. But the root cause is always Israel. Ethan, oh, the problem is Hasan and Islamists and Mahmoud. Learn how to fucking say a fucking Arab name, ya zabir.
This is open anti-Semitism, in my opinion. He's definitely trying to ride the line. But this is, I think, pretty easily over it, but nobody gives a fuck.
Netanyahu. Yeah. I did see this.
Busted. Dead forever.
Chet back in the lab working on his 3-ball.
That's why he got banned.
All you're gonna learn is how to throw bombs, okay?
Very funny.
And miss. When you do that, he ain't got internet. He ain't got internet.
That's not just a joke, right? Because this guy spends a lot of his time talking about Netanyahu and Israeli war crimes and dropping bombs and killing civilians and all this stuff. So just to speak so flippantly about American Jewish man that has zero association with Israel as dropping bombs and calling him Netanyahu seems far from a joke.
Hey, maybe he didn't know how associated the guy is with Israel. He saw a dude fucking playing in a basketball court that says "Am Israel Chai," which is Israeli slogan, the genocide slogan as far as I'm concerned. And there's a few Israeli flags waving over there. That's enough. What would you say if you saw someone playing basketball in a basketball court with Nazi flags hanging over there? And the line that says Heil Hitler in the middle. Am Israel Chai, to me, is pretty much a Heil Hitler. Legitimately no difference. No fucking difference, man. So, is it crazy to assume? No, it's not. Blame Netanyahu, blame your friend, and blame your stupid fucking hasbara that you've done over the past 2 years, trying to convince everyone that most Jewish people are Zionists and that Zionism is actually okay. Blame idiots like yourself for what's happening.
Right?
Yeah, in today's climate when there's like attacks on Jewish people every day.
Well, this guy's a target now. There's no question about it.
In today's climate, there's attacks on Jewish people every day. Hila, you know what else? There's attacks on Arabs by Israelis every single day. Jewish people are actually murdering Arabs every single day. Did you know that? Do you know what's happening in South Lebanon right now, Hila? But also, northern Israel is also not doing well. The people have had to... Yeah. My country is being destroyed. The South is being erased, completely erased, as if it was never there. Farms, restaurant, homes, schools, hospitals, everything razed to the ground. Fuck you. Genuinely, fuck you guys.
It's life as hell.
Yeah.
He ain't got internet. He doesn't know. Am Israel Chet. Stop. I love the thunder. Don't make me see this again.
I'm Israel Chet. He's not Israeli, by the way. And he's never made a public statement about Israel.
What does that tell you? If he's never made a public statement about Israel, I think he kind of knows that his public statement about Israel is going to get him fucked. Now, there could be a chance that he's maybe super pro-Palestine, but could you imagine a very pro-Palestinian individual willingly playing basketball in a basketball court that has an Israeli flag and Am Israel Chai in the back? Probably not. I wouldn't be caught. I wouldn't be caught dead in a fucking Starbucks. I haven't set foot in a Starbucks. Well, I don't usually go to Starbucks, but like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be caught dead in a fucking Starbucks. You think I'm going to be on a court with an Israeli flag and Am Israel Chai in the back?
Yeah, he's Amish, bro. He's Amish.
So he's doing a little riffing now on him being Jewish.
Yeah, just him and chat having fun.
Mm-hmm. We do a little riffing when we spot the Jews.
A little banter.
We like to keep tabs on the Jews so that when we catch them in front of Hebrew, we can ruin their lives.
No one has...
If they're Zionists, whether they're Jewish or not, everybody deserves to have their life ruined for supporting a genocide and supporting the genocidal state of Israel. I'm sorry. Fuck you and fuck your feelings.
No one has gone to Israel and improved, okay? In general.
He's never gone to Israel.
I think this is the crux of it. I think that he thinks that video is him in Israel.
That is remarkably stupid.
I think that's what happened.
But
that would also explain it. Why would you, like, there's Hebrew on the wall, there's an Israeli flag, and there's Am Israel Chai. Why would you assume that this is not happening in Israel, Ethan?
That's so crazy.
No, Lace.
But also, like, if that's true, imagine like targeting this poor guy
Yeah, this poor multimillionaire NBA player, this poor fucking guy. Oh, he's lost so many nights of sleep because Hasan called him Netenyahu on an Instagram story once.
Your entire audience and whole apparatus. It's not even his audience, like a whole apparatus of hate on this guy, right?
That's just not happened, okay?
This is not boots on the
I'm
ground.
talking about just basketball. I'm talking in general, okay?
In general, you can't go, like, nothing good comes out of Israel. That's always what he talks about. Only war and death, and then, yeah.
So is your bitch ass gonna sue or still thinking about it, putito?
I
What the
think
hell
now he
is a
just goes off
putito?
on this chatter.
There you go. So, yeah, I thought it was, to me, Hasan gets away with a lot of covert anti-Semitism, but this one is like overt. I mean, it's just open, out and about, right? Any other ones I missed, or that's about it on that one?
No, I think you covered everything.
This is unrelated.
Then he talks about iDubbbz, etc.
And I'm trying to. I've done really good.
I just put a poll, and I think we're done with this.
Not talking about iDubbbz, but you guys, I swear this clip.
We don't need to hear this. That was the H3 podcast, everyone. I just put up a poll in the live chat. Have you watched the movie Obsession? We have 16 votes. Everybody's saying no. Okay, because someone was asking me if I would do an Obsession review. It's making tons of money. Low budget movie made for $750,000. Budgeted at under $1 million. And the movie's made like $80 million or some shit in the US. One of the most profitable movies of all time. I've heard it's fantastic. Made by a YouTuber. I was seeing if we should watch it and maybe try to do a review on Thursday with the crew. But if no one has seen it, then that might not be much of a selling point for a crew live stream. I'm going to hit up the crew today and see if they're willing to come stream on Thursday. It's today, Monday? Or today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, today's Tuesday. I'll talk to the crew today and see if they're down to stream on Thursday. Tomorrow, I'm going to be streaming. I'm not sure if I'm streaming on the main channel or if I'm streaming on Tino's Playroom to start finishing the Cantina. I have a lot of Lego to build. There's some video games to do. There's a lot to do. I'm also going to have to do at least one live stream on my laptop to test my laptop again because I'm going to the States for a while. I'm going to have to be using my laptop. So I'm going to have to do a very low-tech live stream very soon, which I'm not looking forward to. I'm so terrified about having to stream from the States. Oh, my God. Is that the Markiplier movie? Oh, that was Iron Lung, if I'm not mistaken. Mithy says, I do want to see it, though. Still have to watch it. Lydia, I think Lydia has seen it, says, oh my God, it's incredible. I'm not going to watch Backrooms, for example. There's Backrooms that's also making a lot of money that was made by a YouTuber. I don't think I'm interested in that at all. But I saw the trailer for Obsession yesterday, and it does look kind of good. So I do think I'm going to try to check it out. Lydia Cruddy says, would not recommend to people who have experienced intimate partner violence or been afraid of a person you live with. Damn. Shit. Sounds kind of interesting, though. Maybe we can relate to that. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today's live stream. For everybody who gifted memberships, let me thank everybody by name because you guys are awesome. Haley D, thank you so much. Akeshi's Faith Pancake, Dizzle McFizzle, Mithy Eve, Fart Twain, Culture Heidelberine, Zafira, Lydia Cruddy, Steeped Tay, Ator, and Polish Pusher. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel today, whether via super chats, becoming a member, gifting memberships. That means a lot. That really makes a massive difference. And that makes sure that the stream can keep on going. This channel can keep on existing. So we very much appreciate you. Subscribe to Tino's Playroom for more content, a lot more content. I've been doing, I'm going to stream twice, about 3 days a week. 3 days a week, there's going to be 2 live streams, one on this channel and one on Tino's Playroom. I'm going to try to keep that channel as active as humanly possible. Between all sorts of live streams, whether gaming, whether Lego building, whether Lego news and reactions, whether Lego reviews, videos, there's always going to be something new on that channel. So if you're interested remotely in geekdom, Lego, video games, I might even start doing movie reviews on this channel because Chris and I did the Mandalorian and Grogu review. We did it on the main channel. I think we could have just as easily have done it on Tino's Playroom. So I think from now on, geeky movie reviews are also going to end up on Tino's Playroom. I'm just going to make that the... I mean, I still wanted to try to keep like fun stuff on this channel. I don't want this channel to just be talking about politics and Israel and stuff like that. But I think even a movie review would be a better fit on Tino's Playroom. So if you guys are into any of that stuff, consider subscribing to that channel. I'm really trying to make this channel into something, you know, where I can spend some more time, make this a viable channel. It's been growing a lot thanks to you guys. The last 2 months on Tino's Playroom have been by far the biggest like monetization months on the channel. It's nothing crazy. It's just a couple $100. But the last 2 months have been good in terms of subscriber growth, view count, everything. It's still a small channel, very humble. You know, yesterday's live stream is at 267 views. We did but another live stream from 2 days ago is at 500 views, which is great for such a small channel with 1,300 subs. It's fucking awesome. I can't complain. It's fun growing a YouTube channel from scratch again, and it's kind of exciting and stuff. So, and I also want to see if I can, you know, unlock a new audience that doesn't know me from this channel, that doesn't have any of the baggage. You know, a lot of people haven't. Like H3 has been able to successfully brand me as like a piece of shit on the internet. You got to keep in mind that every time H3 talks about me, they are talking about me to an audience of 500,000 people. So when they call me an anti-Semite, when they call me a bigot, when they call me whatever, Millhouse, there are more people that know me through H3 talking about me than know me through my content. When I make a video, maybe 5,000 to 10,000 people will watch it, so I can influence them. But when H3 talks about me, they influence me to a much larger audience, and I cannot compete with that. And anytime I put out a tweet or something, I get like a lot of fucking harassment online by people who only know me through Ethan or even maybe Asmongold. So I kind of like Tino's Playroom because it has nothing to do with this channel, nothing to do with the drama. I can kind of exist independently there without anybody thinking I'm an anti-Semite or a bigot. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting me, my channel, and Tino's Playroom. I will see you guys tomorrow for a live stream, most likely on Tino's Playroom, and then back here on Thursday for a crew stream with the rest of the team. I'll reach out to them now and get that set up. Have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are. We love you very much. And as always, do not